Um, yeah, I'm just loving the comments on that video, by the way.
The Vic Mignogna one?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a shit fest, and I'm loving it.
That one guy is still arguing about something I am not arguing about. It was just an accidental slip. I don't care. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the live stream he did afterwards where he's had the Broly statuette, like, waving his underwear around for him. And he was like, look at my underwear! And then take this underwear that I'm showing you right now and compare it to my crotch.
Like, I don't know, like...
Zoom in on the pixel that is my dick.
Yeah, hey man, someone asked him to like start an OnlyFans if he's so eager to wave his like underwear around. I'm sure his followers or his fans will subscribe to that.
I think that he would lose the majority of his fan base because the majority of his fan base can't participate in OnlyFans because they're underage.
Yeah, okay, yeah, you're right, yeah.
When I'm right, I'm right.
Yep, you are. Oh my god, everybody, like, all they have...
Fun yesterday.
Yeah. All the comments I'm looking at is, oh, his behavior is not creepy, you are stupid, he did nothing wrong. And I'm like, so someone, a 60-year-old man hugging a kid without their consent, or kissing them on their cheek without their consent, or getting in their ear and singing without their consent, getting close into their personal space without their consent is not creepy.
I forgot about the creepy birthday video, no.
Hello.
Welcome back to Don't Fekk Friday.
Don't Fekk
Friday. Don't Fekk Friday.
Don't Fekk
Friday. Don't Fekk Friday.
It's going to be fun.
Yo, what up?
Yo.
How's it going? I haven't updated
Good,
this
it's
yet.
6 a.m. here.
I will update this soon. I keep meaning to update it and I get distracted, so this will be updated soon.
Oh.
My apologies.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Everybody knows they support you and they're happy about it.
Oh, thanks. Greatly appreciated. Yesterday's stream was a lot of fun. I guess we're writing a novel. Apparently on Twitch, where basically I'm now doing the character design, we're designing characters, and we're gonna put them in some scenarios. I make no promises about whether or not those scenarios will be safe for work. I'll be able to draw everything that's drawn on stream will be able to be like boobs as long as it doesn't have nipples, and dicks as long as there's no, like, crotches as long as there's no dick and balls showing. So then I can just add that in at the end.
Yeah, I think so. That's a good idea. Yeah, because Twitch is very strict about that, isn't it? Like, as soon as you start even indicating in that direction, Twitch just like goes in panic mode.
It's a little bit. No. When you're doing art, it's a little bit harder to tell if something's going to be not safe for work or not because you can start with the structure lines. Anyway, welcome back to Don't Fekk Friday. Hey, we're here. We're going to talk about Steven Crowder, and I really hate that because initially I was only ever going to talk about Steven Crowder on Thanksgiving for Chowder with Crowder, and sadly, that is not the case.
This is a gift that keeps giving, or I must say, the shit show that keeps evolving and kind of in the direction that we were expecting it to evolve. I don't know. We are.
Smouter.
It's me. Yeah, it's been amazing how accurate our predictions have been.
Hey, listen, that's all you. You're the one who's accurate here, not me. This is all you.
Thank God.
I am baffled. Specifically by the Manya just being like, yo, this man's cheating on his wife. Looks up, hey, look at him. Here's him arguing about cheating with his wife. And then, like, 2 days later, he goes on this fucking rant about how he's like, I've broken up with my wife. It's just like,
yeah.
It's been a week.
Only a week, and here we are again, back again.
Actually, I think it's been 2 weeks since we did that time of the month.
Yeah. So 2 weeks. Yeah, but still, it's the same month. It's the same month.
Because we had the Dumb Fekk Friday on the second half of the stream on Thursday, which will be out for you guys.
Oh yeah.
Tomorrow probably.
Yes. Yes. We did a lot of Dumb Fekk Fridays on Thursdays and Saturdays last week.
There's too much stupid and not enough time.
Yeah. Generic minority. Manya spoke his divorce into existence. Did I?
Oh my god, Manya. This was you. You did this to Steven Crowder. How could you? You monster.
Oh my god, I'm gonna get sued for defamation. Oh god.
Actually, so
yeah, I'm loving every moment of this.
I heard that actually they had been divorced for about a year now, and they had agreed to not talk about it until Steven Crowder decided to talk about it.
For some reason, I think it was because Candace Owens was coming at him. She was like, "Dude, I know more about you than you think I know about you, and don't mess with me." And
you mean
so
this?
Oh yes! Oh yes!
This thing I happen to have pulled up conveniently.
Yep. Alicia from the live chat. Manya is a home wrecker. Yeah, I am. In a very different sense, I guess.
I guess she watched our video by time traveling.
It's possible. But I think so. It's yeah. With people like him, it's kind of expected.
Crowder? You mean you don't think Crowder can hold down a relationship? Why?
Because he's an insecure buffoon. That's why he's so insecure. He that he needs constant validation and coddling by bringing down people around him, especially women around him, pregnant women around him.
Oh so, yeah, we're gonna get to that. Let's start with Candace Cohen's though.
Can you magnify it for me a little bit?
Yes. So it says there's some incredible war going down. Oh, hold on. Let me just make a quick fix here. There we go. There's some incredible war going down right now between Candace Owens and Steven Crowder. Apparently, Crowder joined the Glinner Club and is being potentially extorted for it. I don't know what that is. Do you know what that is, Manya? Oh, divorced. No. It means divorced. Okay, I found the answer.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay, yeah. So I was right again. That he put it out before Candace Owen could put it out, so he admitted.
No, Candace knew and like accused them of it, like brought it up because they're beefing. And Steven Crowder's been beefing with the Daily Wire for a little while, and so now it's just escalating.
Yeah, that whole thing about not getting a good offer to work for them and going back and forth on them, which was such a ridiculous thing to put in the public.
And then saying he had some kind of they were screwing people over with contracts and that he knew people who yada 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 yada.
Yeah, if you have sources, cite them. You can cite them as confidential sources. Don't sit and speculate like that and create more problems. If you do have sources, you can cite them without mentioning them. So yeah, it's but I think so. Daily Wire also have the right to rebut on it if they're getting accused or something. So yeah, a lot of people in the live chat today. Thanks for coming, everyone. This is going to be fun.
Sorry, I really needed to eat that animal cracker. It was staring me in the face, and I could not prevent myself from consuming the cracker.
You do not ignore the animal crackers. No. You give them your full
animal
attention.
Crackers. To remind people, the video Steven used in his show of me was a video of me responding to Steven's first set of bizarre attacks against the Daily Wire. Steven is not the victim. He was never the victim. He's just a bad person who continues to burn a lot of people, said Candace Owens unironically. If you're going to use your children as human shields to block people from digging further into your divorce, please do so without inserting me into the narrative. Next screenshot says, oh my god, why is this from The Quartering? This fucking guy. Oh, we lost Manya. Manya, you broke. Come back. Manya's broken. When an animal cracker stares you in the face, you eat its face. Yeah, that's accurate. We gotta wait for Manya. Technical difficulties. I should probably grab my phone in case she's yelling at me. I bet her computer broke. Oh, there she is. I would like to take this time to remind you all to like and subscribe and go into the Patreon and the Discord and find me on Twitch and all kinds of fun stuff. Come and join the party. She's restarting her computer. So now you just get me. You guys have any questions? You guys got any? Got any, man? No? Yeah, the quartering. That weirdo. That's an accurate representation of the quartering. Screen capping the Manya face for future meme use? Yes, do that. Absolutely. The face you make when your computer dies midstream. I do not know if there is a better... I don't know if there's, like, a better way to describe the quartering. We talked about the quartering a couple of times, because he was, like, and still is, crazy obsessed with an underage mermaid from his childhood. I do not know what that dude's deal is. Puck. Puck is, if we get you, we also get Puck. Puck is a package deal. Yes. Did Puck have a good morning? Yeah, he's, it started raining, so he made it outside just before the rain started, so he's having a good morning. Hey.
Hi, I'm back. I'm so sorry. My computer gave up on me.
The computer was trying to protect you from, look whose tweet it is.
Ah, no! Oh, God. Why? Okay. Alright. Let's do this. Okay, let's do this.
It's absolutely disgusting that people on the right would use Steven Crowder's divorce as leverage against him, to use it against him to embarrass him. Divorce happens. It doesn't even sound like it was his choice. You expect it from the left, but totally shameful from the right.
Yes, yeah. Sometimes divorce is not the choice of one of the parties. In most of the cases, it's like that one of the parties don't want divorce because they like the control they have on their partner and they refuse to let go. Even though they know they're toxic towards their partner. So yeah, I get it. And you about using Steven Crowder's divorce as a leverage. What type of leverage? I don't know. Like back and forth in media, social media, online platforms happens all the time. And I don't know what is so shameful about a divorce that you would want to hide. And
well, I think so we're talking about the extreme right, though, which has a lot of religious overtones.
Oh yes, of course.
So like divorce is wrong, and they'll speak out against divorce and what a proper marriage ought to be, yada yada yada. Steven Crowder being kind of lumped in, or a part of that group. That you can decide for yourselves how much you agree or disagree about how deep up the ass of that group he is, but it would make sense that they would shit him out because it's hypocritical, right? It's something that they would be critical of anyway, and that they were already beefing on top of it makes total sense. I mean, I think the quartering is full of shit, to be honest.
He's just trying to insert himself in a situation so he can make a video about it, I guess.
Hey, listen, I'll give the guy credit. Whatever he is doing, it works. He makes money, he's got a successful channel, at least something that I would call successful, so like, I don't know.
Yeah, if a channel's making money, it would be considered successful, isn't it?
Yeah, like it would be subscriber number and revenue, and between those two things would dictate whether or not a channel is successful or not.
Yes.
So,
yes. Yeah, but this is just like
people like his shit. Why? I have no idea. No clue.
I don't know.
It's beyond me.
Yeah. yeah, divorce happens, it doesn't even sound like, yeah, that's what it is, I think so, because some people, especially on the right-wing side, they consider divorce very shameful. They consider divorce as a failure, you know, for that individual who goes through it, or individuals who take part in it, or move away from each other. So I think so that's why maybe Quartering is trying to empathize with Steven, that it's embarrassing for him, and trying to use something that's embarrassing for him is wrong. And I'm like, welcome to journalism, especially online journalism, digital journalism.
Well, especially when it's like in regards to some of the shit that he says and dictates, and like it's all like, it's not like it's unrelated. So if I was to start talking about like Keanu Reeves getting divorced, if he was getting divorced, that's not news. That's not information that is like relevant. But if I say, hey, Keanu Reeves is not doing X movie because of his divorce, and it's taking away too much of his time or his energy or whatever, that would be a relevant piece of information.
Or
right? It's still not really news. It's just entertainment news, I guess.
Yeah, like Johnny Depp and Amber Heard's divorce. It was news because it was part of the defamation trial.
Well, it was news when it happened because she called TMZ to take gossip
photos.
photos.
Oh yeah, and then denied it later.
It was news because she made it news. And so, like, it's the same kind of thing with Steven Crowder and with Candace Owens. It's news because they're making it news.
Yeah. The thing was that if Steven Crowder had waited for Candace Owens to bring out that information and then cried foul, I would have been like, yeah, okay. But you did the thing, and I don't think so he knows the term Streisand effect, or he does know and he chose to ignore it.
I'm not sure if he started talking about it first or she did.
Yeah, I'm also not sure, actually.
I don't know. He might have...
It's possible she might have alluded to that, and she was like, don't come for me, I know no shit about you. So
yeah, I think possible. That's what she was getting at. She was... Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying, like, if he had waited for her to dump it out, and gone through with what she was alluding to, maybe then he had the right to say, oh, this is personal stuff that's being used against me. Well, but he decided to put it out himself, like trying to get ahead of Candace for some reason, and then shooting himself in the foot in the process.
Or she brought up that people are digging into your divorce, meaning people already know about it, and it's only a matter of time. And then he just decided to go nuclear, but in a way that does no harm to Candace whatsoever. But we'll get to that. Yeah,
she's like, I was right. See, I was right.
Steven Crowder accusing me of extortion is so patently insane that it honestly makes me question how there are still people who cannot see how thoroughly undone he has become. This is not stable behavior. He is a man on a spiral, outright bizarre and concerning. This is coming from Trump. This is coming from Candace Owens,
who supports Trump, and is a loony herself.
I think I'm gonna end up agreeing with her. That's the thing. By the time we're done this video, I'm gonna be like, yeah, no, this is not stable. He's in a spiral, and this is bizarre and concerning.
It's funny, like, in comparison to Steven Crowder, who's that guy that we were covering last time who was interviewing him? I keep forgetting his name.
Ben Shapiro?
Ben Shapiro. He appeared more empathetic and more...
Yeah, when you're such a unlikable, mean clown that you make Ben Shapiro look like the charismatic funny man.
And now Candace. now Candace Owens. Oh my goodness. I don't know what his PR team is doing. Where is his publicist? Where is his PR team?
His wife was his publicist, remember?
Oh, yes, of course.
Wow, yeah. a Steven losing a woman in his life that was controlling how, like, he appeared to the public and then everything exploding in their face. Who'd have seen that coming?
Chef's kiss.
Who could have foreseen these circumstances? Alright, well, I will agree with Candace about one thing in this. Mm-hmm. If Steven is alluding to, like, saying that she's extorting him because of this tweet here, this tweet doesn't say that. This tweet says, like, if you're going to use your children as human shields to block people from digging further into your forest, please do so without inserting me into your narrative. Like, basically, she's just saying, keep your name out of my mouth. Because, like, there's no extortion because, like, she's not threatening to put any information out. The information is already there that she's putting. That's not an extortion.
Yeah. So she's just saying, like, leave me alone, and Steven Crowder decided not to, so she was like, okay, let's go nuclear on this. But she didn't do it then. He did it to himself. And now everyone's, like, crying about it. Maybe he should have kept his mouth shut. I don't know.
If he was a Steven, he'd be okay. With a PH.
Yay.
Oh, alright. So somewhere in here that I have buried somewhere, as I will pull this up momentarily, because I'm a professional and I definitely had this queued up.
She got it, guys, she got it.
I put it somewhere.
I love the avatar they have. Oh
is.
My goodness. It's so cute, the avatar that they have. Steve Reno. That's a very cute avatar.
It's Gurr, isn't it?
Yeah. With a mustache and a cowboy hat, if I'm not wrong. And that's so cute.
Who doesn't
you
like
lie! You fucking lie!
Oh, that's like a Mexican sombrero, and he's got like the Mexican stash.
Mustache, yeah. Yeah, I couldn't help myself screaming out, you lie, you fucking lie.
Jasper Cat makes a good point as well in the chat. It says, or they say, it's not us agreeing with them, Chesh. It's them finally coming around to the truth and agreeing with us, and what we've been saying all along. I also like this person's picture. It's just a plate of bacon.
Oh my goodness, the crowd we have, like, and their sense of humor is amazing. It's amazing.
Fantastic. All right. Let's get Crowder going here because
that's his statement.
Yes, this is what he decided to say in response to what's been going on, where he announces and starts talking about his divorce, which was apparently against his wife's wishes. Sorry, I'm just opening my volume mixer. I want to make sure you guys can hear it.
Why would they go for divorce if neither of the party wants a divorce? Like, is he saying that he wanted a divorce? I don't know. Let's have a look.
Jeff Younger had tweeted this out. They said Steven Crowder is getting divorced. As is the case, 80% of the time, the wife filed for a divorce. Is that an accurate statistic?
Yeah, I think so.
80% of the time?
Let's see, in America, which gender files most?
80% is really high. That's a really high number.
Yeah. So
I know that there was a slew of
by...
when divorce became legal and women could divorce without having to like prove infidelity or anything. There was a large increase.
Well, there are a couple of studies I found on Google because I Google a lot of shit. So it says here, a study led by the American Sociological Association determined that nearly 70% of divorces are initiated by women, and the percentage of college-educated women who initiated divorce is even higher. So
still not 80%.
Not 80%, but yes, a majority of the divorces are initiated by women.
Oh,
and I think
interesting.
Yeah, and there's a what happened?
It's your turn. It's your turn. Generic minority changed its profile picture.
Oh, I love you, Generic. Oh god, it's my turn now. Yes, of course. And I'm loving every second of it. Yes.
Amazing.
Wear my face.
Wear my face? Okay.
He's doing that, isn't he?
Nobody take that out of context. Not creepy at all. Sorry, go ahead.
Listen, if Generic does it, it's not creepy. It's when someone who takes over my previous name tag and tries to impersonate me and tries to take embarrassing pictures of me and put them on and try to, like, get me tagged by TV4.
You mean all those embarrassing pictures that I started using for thumbnails?
Yeah.
Thanks for doing my work for me.
Creepy.
All right, sorry, go on.
I actually love that when they sent me that collage. I was like, perfect, thank you.
Oh, that was so nice.
Some of the pics. I still use some of the pics they have. So
Yeah.
there's a website called divorce.com. How convenient. It says women get divorced at a significantly higher rate compared to men. In particular, they get divorced at the rate of 7.7 per thousand citizens in the United States, according to the CDC.gov report. At the same time, the current national divorce rate is 2.3 per thousand people. So out of the 2.3, it's 7.7% are, I guess, no, I'm going the wrong way, wrong math. Yeah, so, but it's higher. Women, yeah. And I think so it's because of the fact, I think so divorce has been recent in this decade, I guess. And, yeah, and educated women are like, fuck it, it's not worth it.
Well, and like there's a full on shift, right? There's a full on shift in sort of sentiment in society sentiment, particularly in Western, because I don't want to speak on other countries. I don't fucking know, other continents. But prolifically in America, there's a shifting, as well as in Canada, where people are just getting married less often. They're just not bothering. There's also that people are, like, economic status makes that big weddings really difficult, and expensive. Oh, yeah. So, like, who's gonna spend the money to do it, on top of, like, there's a bajillion reasons. And Feline pointed out, fun fact, divorce rates in conservative states are higher than in progressive states. And because of that, being pushed into marriage and stuff like that, right? So,
yeah, not having a good foundation for your relationship and just getting married for the sakes of it is going to head towards, majority of the times, towards divorce. Whereas in progressive states, people, they date a lot. They look into their choices that they have, and they're very confident about what they want to see in their partner, so they're able to make good choices in partner selection, which lead to good long-term stable relationships. Oh, how surprising, isn't it? So yeah, it's not surprising.
This is the right side of my head. Sorry, there was a question in the chat. Which side of your head is shaved? This is my right hand.
Are you mirrored? Are you mirrored like you were one other time?
You'll never know. Yeah, I'm mirrored right now. So, like, my right, when I raise my right hand, it shows as on the right hand side of me I'm mirrored, yes.
I got you.
This is our right hand side.
Yeah. So Intrigue Feline also brought up another fact. About 23.5% of the divorces are a result of domestic violence. Yeah, that's also another thing.
Damn, those women filing for divorce from those men that beat the shit out of them.
Yeah. How dare they? How dare they look after themselves or look out for themselves. And that's a very good comment. It will come into significance later as we go through the show today. So yeah, good.
Athens, I also want to point out, because like we're having fan chat right now. I shouldn't say fan chat. This is side chat. Whatever the fuck I'm saying.
It's a chat.
Athens changed their photo to be a big Snorlax goblin. I love it. I absolutely love it.
This chat is amazing. Seriously, I love it.
Am I sure it's my right hand? Yes. I have to think about it. Yes. All right. So Stephen Carter is getting divorced. As is the case, 80% of the time, the wife filed for divorce. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'll say more about this on my podcast. I've been through the Texas family courts myself. It's rough for fathers and kids. I will agree that it's rough for everybody, but there is definitely a tilt against men a lot of the times when it comes to like custody in the court system.
I might dare say that it's more in progressive states where men face a lot of issues than the conservative states. If I'm not wrong, somebody can Google it.
I think you're saying that backwards.
Maybe I'm not, because fathers are considered to be stable parent. I think so in conservative viewpoint. If I'm not wrong. So We can Google it, but I see it from a very different perspective, I guess.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. I do know that, like, the courts tend to lean towards giving the mom custody because they're the maternal one.
Yeah, I see that.
So, and then men just have to pay money.
Yeah, child support. But there's also, like, I think so there are a lot of, like, these, clips I've started watching, or they have started appearing on my timeline, YouTube timeline, from for some reason, where they're showing these. Yeah, there are these quotes. I don't know if they're like Judge Judy ones, where they are discussing alimony and who will pay who what, and they're showing a lot of majority of the times in the cases, it comes out that the father does not owe alimony. It's the other way around.
Yeah, that happens
for some reason. Yeah. So. Yeah.
All right, let's take a listen here and see what Steven Crowder has to say.
Oh.
I have been living with a proverbial boot on my neck for going on years now. Since 2021, I've been living through what has increasingly been a horrendous divorce. Now, let me say on the outset, to be clear, there is no infidelity, any kind of physical abuse at all on either side.
Sorry, I couldn't help myself. No infidelity, no abuse. Sure.
All right, I'm gonna make a poll in the chat. Start a poll. Bullshit.
Bullshit, not bullshit.
Bullshit. Yes, no.
Oh yeah. That's
Do you guys think that Steven Crowder did like is telling the truth, that there was no infidelity and there was no abuse on either side?
Press X to doubt.
You guys let me know what you think.
I already voted yet. This is interesting. Like, who did anyone proofread his statement? Did any of his lawyers, divorce attorneys, or anyone proofread his statement? Even his PR person. Oh yeah, his wife was a PR person, but still, your attorneys or your lawyers would read your statement before you put it out. So I don't know if they did that or not, or if he was so overconfident that he decided that he just go with it, whatever comes to his mind.
Steven Crowder being overconfident and arrogant and then shoving his own foot in his mouth? No!
And not knowing how to keep a conversation straight? Yeah. We've seen that.
No.
Intrigue from the live chat. 22% of custody shared in Republican conservative states, 40% in Democratic progressive states, and interestingly, 59% custody is shared in swing states.
Swing states meaning they shared, can go either way, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Oh, wow. Interesting. Intrigue feline coming up with facts in the live chat like that. Here you go. You get a fact. Everybody gets facts.
All right, well, I'm gonna put this back because we only made it 20 seconds.
sorry, I couldn't help it. I'm sorry.
Oh no, that was a good pause point. Buddy.
I have been living with a proverbial boot on my neck for going on years now.
Head up my ass.
Since 2021, I've been living through what has increasingly been a horrendous divorce. Now, let me say on the outset, to be clear, there is no infidelity, any kind of physical abuse at all on either side. And no, this was not my choice. Do
you find it odd that he specified physical abuse specifically?
Yeah.
Okay.
What we are going to look down the line today. Yes.
Don't spoil
I know
it.
Why?
Don't spoil it.
Sorry. Sorry.
Then wife decided that she didn't want to be married anymore. And in the state of Texas, that is completely permitted. It's been the most heartbreaking experience of my life, what I consider to be my deepest personal failure. And just so you know, my opinions on parenting and families have not changed. I've always...
So, it's like he's regretting that Texas allows divorce and that his wife is allowed not to stay married anymore. And then, as I was right, conservatives see it as a failure if you get a divorce or you have a divorce in marriage, or in a partnership. So yeah, it's a very strange way to start your statement with, first about probably why not the divorce was and who wanted the divorce, and saying it was a failure. It's typical conservative take, I would say.
There anywhere in North America, because I'm gonna extend this, not just America, not just Canada, I'm gonna include Mexico. Is there anywhere in North America that divorce is illegal or not permitted? I can't think of one, but I'm not terribly familiar with America. I'm not familiar with Mexico law.
I'll make a very specific distinction. Are you talking about Christians or are you talking about every religion that's out there?
Oh, no. I'm talking about by law, like government.
By law. Okay, I'll put a caveat in there again. If you go into Islamic law, they have loopholes where they can prevent a divorce from happening. So yeah.
Right, but North America.
No, not by law though. Yes, you're right. Technically not by law. You're not. Yeah, there's. I don't think there's any state or any country.
I know there are theocracies that disallow it.
Yeah.
Right, but North America doesn't, as far as I know, does not have any currently active theocracies as their government structure. So, is there anywhere in, like, there's a whole ass continent that this man is on.
Yeah.
So, like, this is unfortunately allowed in Texas. Is he just telling people in Texas that they need to vote against divorce? Vanya, what's the divorce rate in Texas?
We'll have to come up, like, it's higher than the other, democratic states, that's for sure. So, divorce rate in Texas, there we go. In 2023, so far, let's say, the Texas divorce rate has been around 10 to 10.5% for a decade. But for 2022, if I come up with what it says, 10.5% in 2022, calculated as an average value of divorce rates in all 254 counties of Texas. Yeah. So it's 1.5 per thousand, if I'm not wrong, something like that. So yeah. Yeah. So
what?
For some reason, Fox 26 Houston is saying Texas ranked among states with the least divorce rates report. I do not believe that.
There are 11 states that require two-party consent for divorce, according to Helios. So divorce is still permitted, though.
What did Helios say? Sorry?
11 says
two-party consent.
Yeah. If any state banned divorce, it would be Utah.
Oy. Don't start about that. Utah. Oh god, that's its own abyss.
Yeah, I'm not saying that there wouldn't be like complications in divorce. I'm asking if there are where it's not permitted.
It's permitted, but there are like more loopholes,
stipulations,
like more hoops to jump. To jump. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna hit play on this.
Yeah, let's go.
On parenting and families have not changed. I've always believed that children need a mom and a dad, that divorce is horrible, and I still believe that children need a mom and a dad and that divorce is horrible.
But he thinks that, but he also thinks that that it's okay, like it's not cheating to sleep with a stripper.
Yeah. If you sleep with a new stripper every time.
As long as it's a different stripper. It's not cheating.
Every night, yeah. It's not cheating. The thing is that, okay, yeah, children might need a mom and dad, but they don't need a toxic mom and dad. Sorry, Steven.
They also don't need to have a literal mom and dad. Like, it's generally good to have more than one person parenting because it takes not all of the pressure going onto a singular individual. right? Being able to spread out the responsibility makes life a little bit easier. Who'd have thought? Yeah. But that doesn't limit things to 2. You could do 3. You could do 5. You ever heard the saying, it takes a village? Like, there's nothing...
Oh, yes, I was thinking the same thing.
Right. There are other cultures that don't use the nuclear family dynamic, and they work perfectly fine. And they've been perfectly fine for hundreds of years.
Yeah. And also, what I was going to say.
Fuck. He's just being against gay couples. That's what he's doing.
Okay. And then also, like, what children need is, like, they need good role models. That's what it is.
Yes.
They need good, strong role models they can look up to and follow as an example. And it can be anyone in their life.
And, like,
it can be their grandparent, their aunt,
people in their lives that care about them. That's what kids need.
Exactly. Yes.
It doesn't matter whether they're a man, a woman, whatever the fuck. That's a dog. Who cares?
I think so. I think so. We have an individual amongst us, like one of our friends, who has been brought up in an all-woman household, and they have a very well-balanced outlook on life. If I'm not wrong, is it generic? Was it generic?
Yeah, like a bunch of his family's all like he's got a bunch of sisters.
Yeah, all women. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, sorry, generic. I put it up, but I'm just giving an example. Like, and so yeah, if Steven Crowder means by that children need. So
he means that children need parents that aren't gay. That's what he means.
Yeah,
gay people can't be parents.
Yeah, he definitely doesn't mean that children read mom and dad who are good role models. Nah, just mom and dad.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
I birthed you, good. I own you.
It doesn't It doesn't mean that they're good parents. It means that he just cares that one of them has a dick and the other one has a uterus.
And it's his DNA.
What about kids who are orphans? They don't have moms or dads. Alright, I'm gonna play.
On either side, and no, this was not my choice. My then wife decided that she didn't want to be married anymore. And in the state of Texas, that is completely permitted. It's been the most heartbreaking experience of my life, what I consider to be my deepest personal failure. And just so you know, my opinions on parenting and families have not changed.
That's why your marriage failed. I consider it a personal failure on my part. You're still making everything about you. Oh, my ego, my personal failure. You know what? It is a personal failure on you, but the way that you're communicating that is why you suck.
Yeah, why is it a failure? Just because the divorce is happening, or why is the divorce happening? Yeah, and we need more elaboration. You need to elaborate more, buddy. Citation needed also, yeah, so. Yeah, let's go.
I've always believed that children need a mom and a dad, that divorce is horrible. And I still believe that children need a mom and a dad and that divorce is horrible. But in today's legal system, my beliefs don't matter. In Texas, divorce is permitted when one party wants it, period. So for well over a year, in the best interest, as well as physical safety of my children, we've decided to keep this issue.
I thought he said there was no physical divorce or physical abuse. Why? What physical safety of your children?
Yeah, no, I think so. This is the statement involving Candace Owens somehow. I think so because she alluded to the thing like, "Don't drag me in and don't use your kids, as a shield." So maybe it's something he's trying to allude something to that to make that connection. And saying that divorce is horrible is also a very ignorant statement because sometimes divorce is a better option for both the partners. I've seen partners who have had divorced and been better for it. And have brought their children up in better circumstances and in a better environment because they weren't together in a toxic relationship that was toxic to both of them and their children. So yeah, so divorce is not horrible if you make it work out and you don't and you don't try and use your children as a weapon against each other.
Divorce is bad for children because the parents make it bad for them.
Oh yeah. they try and use children against each other. Oh, your mom did this. Oh, your dad did this. Blah blah blah. Like, maybe keep children out of it. It is very important for children to have a good image of their parents. And if you really do want to bring to their attention that there's some wrong behavior going on, yeah, there's a way to go about it, and it's not the way usually the parents do end up doing. So,
and being in an environment where you're fighting all the time isn't going to be good for your kids either.
Yeah, like Heracles said from the live chat, I wish my parents had gotten a divorce years before they did. Divorce can be the healthier options for everyone. That's true. That's true.
That's true. Right, that's a really old reference from Drunken Presents.
Matter. In Texas, divorce.
Yeah, sorry, there's one other thing he said in here that I wanted to touch on. Yeah, the law, your personal you don't get to enforce your personal beliefs via law, and you don't get to force them onto your spouse.
Exactly.
Everything about what he said so far is displaying why his marriage didn't work.
Case in point.
Is permitted when one party wants it, period. So for well over a year, in the best interest as well as physical safety of my children, we've decided to keep this issue private and to resolve it privately with the appropriate attorneys, what have you, legal jargon. And all this, one thing I want to be really clear about is certain. True north here is that my children are blameless, completely without fault. And so we decided to resolve these issues privately, as it's in their best interest,
using these children.
both emotionally and physically.
Then why are you talking about it?
Everybody knows that children are blameless in a divorce. That's by default. Unless they're adults and they are assholes towards each of the parents and they cause the divorce somehow.
But once they're adults, they're not children anymore by fiat.
Yeah, exactly. You're right. So it's by default that children are blameless.
Children are at fault at default unless they're not children anymore.
And to say that you're trying to do it privately for your children's sake is kind of disingenuous on his part. Maybe it's possible he didn't want his children ridiculed in the conservative school they were attending. It's possible. Maybe that's why they wanted to keep it. That would be one of the motivations.
There's lots of motivations why you could keep it private to keep, kids from doing whatever, because Steven Crowder is a public figure. And so when you're a public figure, you want to concern what you do and do not put out publicly and how that's going to affect your kids, right? That's reasonable. But he's the one talking about it now.
Yeah, if it was so important for you, why are you talking about it?
Maybe he'll get to that. Maybe he'll bring that up.
Probably.
Resolve these issues privately, as it's in their best interests, both emotionally and physically, to do so. Now, the other issue is, and this is something that I've kept private for likely far too long, many other people knew about this behind the scenes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Not all, but some of them in positions of power, influence, leverage, knew of this.
Positions of leverage? What is a position of leverage? I don't think he knows what leverage means.
Kind of feel like it's only one party that wanted it to be private, because there's no way that it went out to other people, or maybe your family members were like, oh, we don't care whether it's private or public. Well, you were unable to keep it private for some reason.
Okay, so, it makes sense that people that he may or may not work with will have, heard about it, especially when she was his PR person. So if she's suddenly not working with him anymore, somebody's got some splaining to do. Right? So it would make sense that
where's your wife?
People at the Daily Wire or people who have been, who are around would know, right? It would make sense. So it makes sense for somebody like Candace to know about that this divorce had taken place or is in the process of taking place or
sometimes people are very good at adding 2 and 2 together.
They could also just, figure it out.
like this individual here. So people are very good. Yeah, they can conclude and they can calculate, and observation is a very, like human behavior is very interesting. Maybe I should have studied human behavior, I don't know. But yeah, how we both figured out that something stupid was going on in his life with his partner. It's not a surprise that someone like Candace Owens was able to figure it out. So yeah. Sorry, buddy, you're too predictable.
Letty says people speculating this is why he was so rude to Ben Shapiro's honestly decent offer to him because Ben knew. But if the offer was decent, there's no leverage, there's no additional caveats going on with that. As far as we know, that speculation doesn't make any sense. That would just be if the offer was unreasonable. And then Ben was like, but or else I'm going to put this information out, then that would make sense.
Yeah, and also I think so it was it was a big offer, if I'm not wrong. It was around in millions, if I'm not wrong.
50 million.
He was offered.
50 million over 50 million over 4 years.
That's not bad actually. But I guess it would be whether he's from that 50 million, will he be paying for his own team or something like that, for his own airtime?
There's the difference what the details are, but that's what a negotiation is. If he wanted higher, he did on higher. He didn't have to go nuclear about it.
Why would you break down negotiations like that when you see them as a future prospect? You can, in future, if it didn't work out this time, maybe in some time in future you could have worked with them.
I'll go on the Daily Wire for $50 million for 4 years. Right? I'll sell out. I'll sell out in a fucking. I would sell out in a fucking second. I'd be like, oh yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, you know what? You listen, Jordan Peterson, you're 100% right about women. Yeah, no, give me my money.
My money. Where's my money? Give me my money. Give me my money. Generic minority from the live chat says, Manya, don't do it. Study human behavior, I guess. Having a background in knowledge of human behavior, it just gives people another excuse to not listen because they claim you're playing mind games. Ooh, yeah. I guess there are cons for going that deep about human behavior. You might start getting paranoid about everything, I guess. Yeah.
No, other people get paranoid about you because you have an understanding that they don't. And it freaks them out because these things and they're like, how did you know that? Bah!
You're playing with my heart. You're playing with my emotions.
I would sell out Chesh and Undercut for 49 million. You bastard! How dare you?
How dare you? The goblin is priceless.
Listen, that's just a way to say don't pay me. All right.
Yeah.
Knew about this behind the scenes. Some, not all, but some of them in positions of power, influence, leverage, knew of this. They also knew the safety of my children included keeping it private. So if you're familiar with the idea of extortion,
hold on.
Then you know the feeling well.
I'm so sorry. I have to get this out. Given the fact that he can't have a straight conversation by staying on the topic, I'm not surprised that a lot of people in position of power or influence know that you're going to have a divorce. I'm not surprised.
Yeah, he talks a lot.
He talks a lot and he goes on tangents a lot. And that's how we found out, right? He went on this stupid tangent talking about relationship, marriage, and his wife. And we were like, what the fuck is going on here? Why is he talking about it to a totally unrelated question? So, yeah, I'm not surprised, buddy.
He's gonna accuse all these people of extortion, but he's still not showing anything. In what way did they use this information to extort you? In what way did they threaten your kids? In what way did they do this or that or the other? You getting divorced is not... That information is not inherently a threat to your children.
Yeah.
And I don't know why you think it is. So if you could demonstrate that, that would be great.
We're here.
Vandalia for 5 said, I don't know how you can listen to people like this without going crazy. I respect your mental faculties. I'd have a breakdown by now. Oh, that's what he's doing right now. He's the one having the breakdown.
Oh yeah, he's definitely having a breakdown. He's just like running for the damn hills. It's apocalypse.
He looks like he ran around the studio once.
Yeah,
because I don't think he's in that good a shape. I don't know. I actually have no idea.
He's so nervous. He's so nervous and worked up about this. That can also cause people to be breathless. So yeah, I think so. That's what's happening with him. He's he's having a panic attack or an anxiety attack of some sorts. A little bit of that.
I don't think it's that, but I do think he's stressed out. Very stressed out.
Yeah, he's stressed out. Definitely stressed out.
I try not to attribute like panic attacks or like full on breakdowns to things, but he just looks stressed out to me. I think that's like another level.
Very stressed out. We have
the idea.
Oh.
Babbitt for 10 said, Crowder basically using an old, weak game called I Know Powerful People in High Places and I'm Not Gonna Name Them. This is an old game weak losers play all the time as a threat. He's trying to say that, like, the people that I knew that knew this information, that were, like, friendly with me, are now using that information now because I am the poor victim 24/7. As I sit here with my wiffle bat trying to bonk people.
We have another super chat, don't we?
I read it already.
Oh, okay. I missed it.
You responded to it. You just didn't notice it was a super chat.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I was distracted. Sorry, my bad. I'm so sorry, man. I get distracted easily.
Then you know the feeling well. Now, some of these...
No, I don't know.
...threats were so thinly veiled that I'm frankly surprised you didn't all guess immediately.
Stephen has a lot going on. I guess is the best way to say it. He has a lot going on, and that should be clear because people don't do stuff like this if there's not a lot going on in their lives. I would like to implore my audience and everybody that isn't paying attention to this situation not to condemn him, but to pray for him. Sometimes people need a prayer. Sometimes people need a scripture.
Nice.
So now we know that Steven Crowder fired the divorce shot first. This is what she was talking about. If you're going to talk about this shit and talk about protecting your kids, leave my name out of your mouth. So yeah, you were right. Candace was responding to Steven Crowder saying this was like some kind of threat.
Yeah. And actually she's being nice here, if I'm not wrong. She's like, don't condemn him. Just pray for him. That's the regular shtick that conservatives do.
I'm pretty sure
this is to be kind to people.
Well, this is what when Steven was blowing up about the offer from the Daily Wire, right? This was her response. This is her response to that, and she's like, he's got a lot of stuff going on. So sometimes when people have a lot of stuff, they're stressed out, and like instead of condemning him, you should pray for him.
That's not a bad thing to say, actually. She's trying to empathize with him, and she wants the audience to I know what she's doing here. She's creating controversy here. She's trying to create controversy and use it to her advantage. But at the same time, she's not that mean about it. She's not saying like, oh, he's bad, he's a bad person. She's just saying he's going through a hard time, right?
Well, she's
it's not like I like her.
Okay, to be fair, what she's doing is she's doing this and saying this way to, first off, be vague, like specifically vague. She's not going to say what he's going through, which, in hindsight being 2020, makes sense. However, at the time, she was doing this to dismiss his lashing out on the Daily Wire, because he was saying the Daily Wire were like taking advantage of people and giving them bullshit contracts, and she's like, he's going through a hard time, he's just being crazy, pray for him.
So she played the Uno reverse card that's usually put on women. Oh, she's crazy.
Yeah,
I be kind to her. He's
crazy, so emotional right now. He's going through a lot of stuff. So like, no, what she's doing is absolute nonsense, because she's not actually addressing what Crowder was accusing the Daily Wire of. Not that he was right anyway, and this going along with some of the other stuff the Daily Wire put out is, I think, within acceptable boundaries of shit flinging, in my humble opinion.
Yeah. And the thing is that's why I keep saying you probably did not keep it private. Private means that you tell a very few trusted sources, which are most of the time within your family. Who know that.
He couldn't
or
keep it
your
private
best
because
buddies who were like friends with you since childhood.
There's no way. Don't tell me shit. There's no way in hell that the people at the Daily Wire did not know he was getting divorced, because they would have been offering him these deals after the divorce had already taken place, if it's been about a year. Right? He said 2001, it is now 2003, which means during the late 2022 and early 2023 would have been like the divorce settlement stuff going on. So like she would have been separated, they would have been away from each other for almost a year at that point, yada 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 yada. And so like, I mean, maybe he can still be sensitive about it, and like going through a divorce can be like an experience. It can be hard. Yeah. And so I'm not going to say that Steven is disingenuous about like his feelings on the matter. I just think his description and his feelings are selfish, and that's why his marriage failed. Yeah, and this is just result of shit flinging towards each other on social media, and they both fucked around and found out. Well, Lady Rorschach is absolutely correct, and that's kind of what you had alluded to, Manya. Steven's going through a lot of emotions right now. You know, like the thing he demonizes women for doing all the time, for being all the time. Oh yeah, and for having a cleavage. Yeah. Oh, that too. Having cleavage is cheating. All right. It's 2023, right? Yeah, it's 2023. Yeah, it is 2023. I think so. You said 2003, if I'm not wrong. Did I say 2003? Yeah. That's funny. That's why I automatically said 2023. All right, I'm going to put Candace back real quick, because I want to pay attention. I want to see if I can spot the threat. We're going to play Where's... Weight? We're going to... Maybe, I don't know. We're going to play Where... I think she got a better haircut. We're going to play Where's Waldo, and we're going to see if we can spot the threat. All right, so you guys tell me in the chat. Tell me if you hear a threat coming from Candace. You know how to spot a threat.
Steven has a lot going on. I guess is the best way to say it. He has a lot going on, and that should be clear, because people don't do stuff like this if there's not a lot going on in their lives. I would like to implore my audience and everybody that isn't paying attention to this situation not to condemn him, but to pray for him. Sometimes people need a prayer. Sometimes people need a scripture. You know, Steven purports to be a Christian. I am unsure at this moment if it is my place to say more than that. You know, maybe if I feel in further defense, some things should be said, or maybe if I feel that the public has a right to understand certain circumstances.
Don't make that face. That's my face. I copyrighted that face. Yeah. Fuck you. Yeah. That's trademarked, bitch. You owe me 5 cents. Yeah. All right. Or maybe $700 something. I didn't hear a threat. Personally. But I don't blame him for taking it as a threat. There's a difference between she might be provoking her audiences to look for something. Maybe, but it's not a threat. So, like, the last part of what she said is the closest thing. So I don't know why I played all that other stuff. The closest thing is her saying, if I feel like my audience needs to know, or it's relevant information, or circumstances change, I think this is all I'm going to say for now. So that's not... I can see how that could be viewed as a threat. But... The thing is that would be... Everything about that was not even defensive. That's like, if circumstances change and this information needs to go out, and the only way that could be considered a threat is if there was more to it. So, like, if there were conversations going on in the background that was like, if you don't take this deal with the Daily Wire, I'm gonna put this information to the public... That would have been a threat. Then it absolutely would have been a threat, but that hasn't been shown. All we know is that if the circumstances change and I think this information needs to go out, then I'll put that information out. I don't view that as a threat. At most, I would view that as defensive. So, like, if Steven Crowder, for some reason, escalates his accusations on the Daily Wire, then there's going to be retaliation with this information. But again, that's still like I think that's a bit of a reach. But I guess we do know that Candace Owens is kind of a piece of shit. So I guess with the context that Candace Owens is a piece of shit, Because there's nothing in there about, like, that Steven needs to do something or not do something. It is that if the situation changes and this information becomes necessary, then I will be sure to tell you if this information becomes necessary.
It could be that they both know what she's talking about, but the audience doesn't know so far. So
it's also not a warning. It's not directed at Steven. It's directed towards her audience. She's not saying, hey, Steven, if things escalate, right? She's just like, well, if this information... I don't think it's my place to tell, but if the situation changes and it becomes need-to-know information,
I'll let
then
you know.
maybe.
But don't go around attacking him. You know, be nice to him. Inadvertently, she's saying, but it can be taken the other way. It's internet. People can go and say, "Oh."
I can agree with Lady Rorschach on that one. It's an overreaching. It's an overreaching to be called a threat, but there is some underlying unsettledness in the comments, like in the way she says that.
Yeah,
that's fair. Like if I was Steven, I could see how that could be.
And it's also like because like we simply like just took a statement of his and like built on it, right, when we did on the last show, and we found out stuff. It's possible that she decided, okay, this behavior is bizarre. I need to justify this somehow to myself. So maybe, and the best people that what people try to do is when they try to empathize with people, they go with, oh, there must be something going on in the background.
Yeah, at best she's pushing her audience to ask questions, but not incite an attack, unless you're Steven. So like that's another thing too, right? Is like if you're looking at this from Crowder's point of view, right? From Crowder's point of view, he's like, oh God, I talked shit on them, and now they're alluding to this information about my divorce. Oh my God, I'm worried about my kids. I can see how he can like really quickly.
Yeah, take it as
look at the way he's holding himself right now. Like, he is panicking, like he is not okay. And so especially if he's already like having a bad time with the divorce, right? So, and on top of that Steven Crowder is also a big old giant baby who wants to be a victim anyway. Right? And so because he wants that anyway and wants to be in that position, because he's already trying to set himself up as a victim or potential victim of the Daily Wire, who he's exposing, I can see sort of the thought process that would get him to this point. But all of this comes off to me as an excuse to put it out, not a defensive
He's
mechanism.
not thinking about children at all. He's thinking about himself. And this, like you said, he's being very selfish at this point. Right. He could have avoided it. He shouldn't have to put it out. And I guess that's what happens when your PR person leaves you and your publicist leaves you, who can see the bigger picture and tell you what the fuck you're thinking.
Yeah. At this point, from what I could tell from my viewing of this, if he had said nothing and just continued on with his show, none of that would have, like, Candace wouldn't have tweeted about.
And the video that we are going to watch after this would not have come out.
As if divorce is even a big fucking... Like, they're freaking out about a divorce. Who the fuck cares? Like, it's like, they're behaving like he's got some fucking nuclear code.
I think so. I kind of can... I know the thought process where they're coming from.
Yeah.
He's like a big beacon. He thinks he's a big beacon for conservatives, right? So he has to be perfect. His marriage has to be perfect. His children have to be perfect. Everything have to be perfect. Now he's getting a divorce. He's not perfect anymore. So he's not that big beacon of hope for the conservatives. And that's his image that he's worried about. So that's why he's freaking out.
Yeah, it's an image thing, not a child safety thing, for sure.
Yeah.
Also, Charlie Owen, comment of the year, he should do what every other divorced guy does and buy a social media platform.
Yeah, for how many billions of dollars when it's like billions of dollars.
Oh my God. And on that note, I'm gonna leave that joke up. We're gonna take Steven Crowder down for a minute, and we're just gonna take a quick break. So go get your drinks, refill your tea, go get some more popcorn, and we will be right back.
See you soon.
Oh, hello there. My tea is just finishing getting all boiled. So I'll run away in a second, but hopefully my pants don't fall down. I would hate to be a Vic Mignogna. Except I'm not wearing any underwear. I'm not wearing any underwear. Listen, if I'm gonna show my whole ass, I'm gonna show my whole ass.
Yeah, I show my whole ass while wearing my pants.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at.
When I do the Bollywood dancing.
Alright. Welcome back, everybody.
It's the camera angle is not good for this one. Maybe sometime later. Okay.
Yeah, another day. Alright. Chat is killing me. So go away. Let's get back to this.
Get rid of them first. We can't.
What else is this man gonna fucking say?
Circumstances.
Well, my children have a right to privacy. Now, some other issues have
Divorce
been,
isn't about
or
your
I
kids,
should
it's
say,
about you.
Inferences.
Children need to be taken into consideration when divorce is happening, both by the court and by the parents, and you should be considerate towards your children when you're doing this. The divorce isn't about them. So it's not their privacy getting violated, and trying to pretend that it is kind of disingenuous.
Yeah. I think so. That's what Candace meant. Like, don't use your children as an excuse.
Yeah, right. That's what she's saying. She's right.
Why is Candace Owens making more sense than this guy?
Because apparently everybody at the Daily Wire is better at presenting their arguments, is more charismatic, and is just more entertaining than Steven Crowder is.
Yeah, that's why he has his own podcast that nobody knows on which medium it plays.
Right.
It's like some
I should say, inferences have been more pernicious behind the scenes with
he doesn't know what that word
demands
means.
and threats to use this
That's
information that they believe would be so publicly embarrassing to me and my wife at a difficult time that it could be used, knowingly putting my children in harm's way. So
no, she
how
said
are your children getting harmed?
That's not what she said. She said Steven is going through a rough time, so he's behaving erratically. Leave him alone and pray for him.
Nice to him.
If I feel like I need to give you more details in the future, I will give you more details in the future.
Yeah, it's like the thing is that unless we know what's going on in the background, there's no reason Steven Crowder should be making this statement.
And if there is something going on in the background, he needs to have put it out in this statement, because that means what he's saying would make sense. But what he's saying alone with what he presented doesn't make sense.
It's confusing your audiences. Actually, you're not doing any favor to your audiences. And the Athens from the live chat said, Steve never had sex appeal. Which Steve are you talking about?
Every Steve.
Steve!
I don't know, I'm a fan of this comment. Matt Walsh is such an alpha.
Oh god.
I can understand...
This chat is killing me.
Oh, wrong conversation. They just all blend together. Yo, you're right. On the other hand, you do have... I can understand why Steven might feel threatened, right?
Oh, yeah.
His feelings are valid. I could understand his perspective, right? I can't empathize with it, but I can understand it. But that doesn't make it the case, and that doesn't... And this is why you need to... Just because your feelings are valid doesn't mean your behavior is justified, right? So, if he feels like he's being threatened, that doesn't mean it's a good idea to go on your show and make accusations and start throwing shit around at the drop of a hat.
Actually,
right?
this statement can be used by the Daily Wire or Candace Owens to go for a defamation suit, actually, if they wanted to. It's so, like, pointed, if I might say.
And just to answer the question in the chat for people who have come in late, Steven Crowder's wife is the one who initiated the divorce.
According to Steven, his wife did not want to stay married. So,
my children
can't imagine
harm's
why.
way. So, to those self-styled Christians, conservatives, and allies, well, not in my book. Now, if you find yourself, I don't want to get into details, so this is going to likely be the only time I have to address this or want to address this. If you're asking yourself, hey, did X person or did Y person know? The answer is likely yes. Which
then
will
it's
be
not
made
private. If
alarmingly
everybody knows, it was never private. It was just not. You just didn't talk about it on your show.
Yeah, just like your cheating wasn't private because we inferenced. We made an inference and we got it right. So yeah, buddy. No. Yeah, man, he needs to get a PR person seriously because, yeah, this is disaster. I was saying he needs a PR person. This is disaster.
They're also not required to keep it private. It's not actually private, especially when it's not actually private information.
Yeah, unless you have made them sign NDAs or something like that.
Yeah, but how the fuck would you get, like, Ben Shapiro to sign and Candace Owens to sign an NDA about your divorce?
I'm just throwing something. Like,
yeah, I know.
It's possible. Yeah. Yeah, Lady Roche, yeah, that good for her, actually, and more power to her, seriously.
That's what we were saying last time. Run, girl, run!
Yeah, we are with you, and this is... My goodness,
we stand Steven Crowder's wife. Ex-wife.
Ex-wife. And, what was I saying? Brain fart. Yeah, more power to her, because, it's not easy to get out of an abusive relationship.
Well, I mean, even with what he described.
Or toxic one.
The video we looked at last time, he was describing how she gave up her career and was working for him. Like, the same shit that Andrew Tate described. Oh, just come and work for me. Just come and work for me.
Oh god.
If a man says, come and work for me, get a contract, like a properly written contract.
Yeah.
Alright. Like, even if they're your husband, even if they're, just make sure to follow the letter of the law for an employee, if that's the case.
Yeah. I really hated when people use their family members as free labor, or their friends as free labor. And there's this trend of these family channels that had started popping up, I think so, and they were using their children. And I think so some courts in America had ruled that if you're recording your children, they are your employees and you need to pay them. So, yeah, I really hope that children don't have to work for YouTube videos and lifestyle videos for their parents. That's just, that's abhorrent. Let them live as children, for fuck's sake.
Which will be made alarmingly clear as this process of discovery continues. And it also, by the way, makes me that much more appreciative of those who did know about this and, in understanding the best interests of my family, my children, kept their word and used discretion. I can't thank you enough.
Saying Steven's going through something, it could be fucking anything.
Yeah.
It could have been a car crash. It could have been somebody in your family died. It could have been, like, drug problem. It could have been somebody else in your family having a drug problem. It could have been fucking anything.
Your wife was pregnant around that time, so she might be having complications or something like that, you know? You never know. So, what? Again, that's what happens when your only PR person leaves. You lose track of what's appropriate and what's not appropriate to put out there, and this is what we get. Shit show.
Sincerely, I appreciate it. Won't forget it. It's pretty
simple.
Sure.
I don't believe you.
Loved a woman so much that I married her.
Ooh.
A woman who, despite all of this, I still love as the mother of my children.
Oh, how very romantic.
And she wanted something else for her life. That's not my choice. She simply wanted out. And
you don't get to why do you feel entitled that you should get to make the choice for her?
You know why? Because he felt entitled that she should come and work for him for free.
He felt entitled to her entirety.
In her
because he's an
entire existence.
Little prick.
Yeah, a man-child. Fuck.
And she wanted something else for her life. That's not my choice. She simply wanted out, and the law says that that's how it works. Now, of course, look, I get it. There are multiple sides to every story, but one thing that is undeniable in this case is that it's no one's fault but my own in that I picked wrong, and that's certainly not...
What did you pick wrong?
What wrong?
Again, he's putting out shit.
Nobody's at fault, but it's definitely my fault for not being my fault.
Dude, stop doing this to yourself. You make it so obvious that people... Oh god, people go out and look for shit because you talk like that. You need to improve on this, for fuck's sake, my buddy. Yeah, really, seriously, sincerely, I tell you, if you want your career to sustain after this, you need to work on how you relate information and all the chaos that is inside your brain. I do not blame you for it. It's possible that that's how your brain works. My brain also works very differently. It has to be repeated a couple of times for me before something clicks in. So you can say I'm stupid for that, but you need to find a way to articulate this.
I've had to work very, very hard to be able to communicate with just people in general, because the way things go in my brain and the way things come out of my mouth are not something that is generally understood by people usually. So I've spent a lot of years spending a lot of time just learning how to express what is in my brain to the people around me. And I don't mean online. It certainly helped with this. I mean, like, my own mother. If I just go on a blah, 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 without all of the work that I had to put in, now I do it pretty passively. Like, I'm pretty good at it now that it doesn't... Yeah, I practice. But it took me, like, since... I think I probably first noticed it sometime around the age of 10... through to, like, it wasn't until I was, like, in my mid to late 20s that I was able to start being like, no, I mean this thing, and here's how I mean it. This is what I'm saying.
Yeah, human communication can be complex because, who knew people are different on how they process and how they relay information or their thoughts. But if you want to stay in a job that involves relaying your message to a large audience, you need to know how to do it properly, man. Seriously, come on. Even us, as I guess small we are on YouTube at the moment, we know what we're talking about and what we need to talk about and what not, right? We consult with each other before we put shit out, right? And you can't even do that at the moment for some reason. And you don't have good people around you for some reason. You're earning a lot of money, if I'm not wrong. You're earning good.
Oh, I'm
Why
so
can't you have
glad.
good people around you?
I am so glad I was not, like, I didn't exist on the internet as, like, a personality who talks, or, like, as an individual who has these kinds of conversations when I was in my early 20s. Oh, fuck no.
Yeah.
That would have been terrible. Just because, like, the way I would say things just did not... They would never be received the way that, like, what I was trying to say, and it was just... Alright, anyway, besides that... Okay, before we jump on the route of Steven chose wrong, and before we jump on to the heavily he is implying that he chose the wrong woman to love, which does seem to be what he's saying, that is not necessarily the case. He could mean he chose wrong in who he let know about his divorce.
That's possible.
He could mean, like, he chose wrong about his approach to maintaining his marriage. He could mean that he chose wrong in not wanting to make this public knowledge this late. Right? There's lots of things he could mean.
Yeah.
But it really sounds like he means he chose the wrong wife.
Yeah. Yeah, it comes out like that. Again, can you be specific about what you chose wrong? Because right now, you're putting out information that will decide how your audience views you.
Context.
Context is very important. Hi, Goblin Mom. How you doing? Everyone say hi to Roxanne in the live chat. Hello. We love you.
Do you think Crowder asked his ex-wife for PR advice during the divorce? Yes. Yes, I think he did. I think he did, and I'll tell you why. I actually have a reason. Yeah. Not just because it's haha funny, but because he feels entitled to her work.
He's like, tell me what to do. What am I supposed to do about all this shit? And she would be like, I'm not.
Yeah, that sounds like a you problem.
Yeah. Are you going to pay me? No? Okay, fuck off.
Let's find out what he has to say, because we did pause him. Maybe he's gonna explain what he meant exactly.
Yeah.
That's how it works. Now, of course, look, I get it. There are multiple sides to every story, but one thing that is undeniable in this case is that it's no one's fault but my own in that I picked wrong, and that's certainly not the fault of my children.
Yep, he means his wife.
And I will say
his wrong wife.
that what's in the best interest of my children is not internet drama, speculation,
you fucking
certainly
asshole.
not blatant or veiled shakedowns or dragging their father or mother, and I can't be clear on that enough, or their mother through the mud.
No one is dragging your wife, dude.
Nah, everybody's like, you go girl, that's all this for your wife.
Do not put yourself in the same category as your wife and your kids. Everyone's gonna drag you because you are garbage.
You are garbage.
Why in fact, being not married to you is gonna give them, like, a better boost. Just for not you dragging them down.
Mm-hmm.
And to anyone who tries it, I'm no longer going to pacify, capitulate, or sidestep because
there's
I love
a threat.
them a whole lot more than I love you. And I will continue to do whatever is necessary to protect my children. Discussing the divorce any further on social media or on this show or in any public space is not what's best for them. I'll be handling this through the proper legal avenues and
Did you ask them what they thought?
Yeah, did you ask your children?
Did you ask your wife? Ex-wife?
Mm-hmm. Like, dude. That's what he's so inconsiderate, seriously. He's not considerate about his wife at all.
From my understanding, she had actually requested that he don't talk about it on the show. That might be wrong. That's just what I heard. Which would mean that he got provoked so badly by Candace Owens that he just neglected that, and I bet you that sums up their entire fucking relationship.
I'll be handling this through the proper legal avenues and channels available as a matter of record in which I have more than full confidence. So I'd ask that you understand the need for and respect our privacy in what is obviously a pretty tough time. And I hope that none of this has to go any further than that.
I bet he's super salty that he's the only one having a hard time. I bet his ex-wife is like, this is great, and his kids are like, this is great, and he's the only one that's
like, let me have a glass of wine and sit down and unwind while I watch this man implode on internet.
I hope so.
I really hope I really wish that we can maybe, if she can come on Chesh's channel and have a conversation.
You want to email Steven Crowder's ex-wife to talk about the divorce?
Yeah. Why not? And I think so. I'm sure we will have someone as a lawyer from our community who will be happy to sit in on it and discuss it. Like, of course, I doubt it will be possible because I'm sure in this divorce there will be NDAs and all that bullshit going on. And of course, I think so his wife will be more concerned for her children than he is trying to show.
He doesn't care. He doesn't care about his wife or his kid. He's using them as like Candace Owens said, he is using them as a shield to criticism.
Malicious compliance. Yeah. Generic minority malicious compliance. So fun fact, when my dad was about to go to jail after he had already attacked her, he asked her for legal advice because she was in law school. She lied to him and he got life. Ha ha ha. Now that's malicious compliance. That is so awesome. Why would you go to a law student to ask for advice about law?
No.
Don't do that.
Why would you go to your ex-wife for legal
attacked?
Or ex-girlfriend, like whatever she was? Why would you go to the person you attacked for legal advice?
Why?
They're not, especially when they're not in the bar. If they're not in the bar yet, they don't have the ethical obligations.
Mr. Sears has
it's funny.
made a very made a good comment. She can finally get a check from him. Alimony now can be some very earned back pay. I really hope that she pursues that back pay too, because in divorce settlements you can do that. She can say, I contributed to his business, so I want half of it, or some percentage of whatever he earns through that business. That's very possible because it happened with Onision too.
If Steven Crowder's ex-wife wants to come out and talk to me, she is more than welcome to be here. I am not going to hound this woman about Crowder. She's probably pretty done with him. She's probably more done with him than I am, and I'm not interested.
I'm just like, you can wish for things, to happen. They don't really have to happen, You can
You're just like, oh.
Imagine the live stream with two sisters, or even you sitting there and having a chat with her. The amount of fucking chaos it would cause. And I'm not going to be surprised if Steven Crowder sends a cease and desist letter to you when it happens. I'm not going to be surprised. I'm saying, but I can dream.
The way my YouTube channel explodes is because Steven Crowder's ex-wife saw 2 Dumb Fuck Fridays of us ripping into Steven Crowder, and she's like, I want in on this.
Please, can I come in, please?
I then start another new show with ex-Crowder's wife and Manya on Dumb Fuck Friday, then that time of the month, and then she also becomes a caffeine addict that's wired as hell whenever we're streaming together.
Bouncing off the wall.
God damn it. We made up a whole lore thing. Alright.
Oh my god, this is awesome.
So this video is exclusive video reveals Steven Crowder emotionally abusing his wife. In statement, Hillary Crowder's family says she hid his emotionally abusive behavior for years.
Ooh.
So, trigger warning?
This looks like a video from security camera.
Yeah,
and
looks kind of like
it's at the back porch.
It looks,
and I wonder who had access to this. I'm sure his wife had access.
Her and her family. Yeah, that's what it says. Hillary Crowder is his ex-wife now. So her family says that she hid his emotionally abusive behavior for years, so they probably had access to this, and then
So she was coddling you for forever. Oh my god.
It's also possible that this video is part of the divorce work.
It is possible. It might be an exhibit in that, and if lawyers allow you, you can post things on public platforms. So I'm quite sure it went through the legal process to make it valid on.
This kind of reminds me of the Kyle Curtis video. Same kind of footage.
Oh boy.
He was slapping around his boyfriend at the time.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. How is he doing? Maybe we should check in on him.
Oh god, yeah, I should look in on Mr. Curtis and see if there's anything going on.
Not Mr. Curtis. His wonderful boyfriend.
Oh, you're talking about Ben. That's a different boyfriend.
Yeah, I'm talking Ben.
Now, that was a different boyfriend. We love Ben. I haven't seen Ben.
Yeah, maybe we should check in on him. I don't know. I haven't had a contact with him forever.
Well, he's not much of an internet guy.
Yeah, it would be good to know what he's doing nowadays.
All right,
I guess.
I am going to hit play. Okay, so trigger warning. This is a video that is going to be showing at least emotional abuse. We know from this video, just looking at it thus far, we can see that she is pregnant during this encounter.
Pregnant.
Yes.
Yeah. She looks cute with the
top on over like No, you just did it. I drew a boundary and abusive and cruel. You are not taking the car. Because if you refuse to do wifely things, then I will go pick up the groceries.
There is no groceries. I do have
steaks, wood pellets, my grill. I know it's an unreasonable request, but I'll go do it. How about you first? Hillary, how do you respect the man? Yes, how do you man? How do you man? You see love and respect. No.
What?
No, you're not taking the car.
Steven,
you're not taking the car.
Steven,
you are not.
Then I will ask them to pick me up. Would you like me to ask?
Oh, that's right.
It's not about Steven.
Get an Uber.
Okay, Steven, I can't.
Feeling some constraints?
Steven.
Like, I can't go. Listen to me. You want to walk out right now? Listen to me. I can't go to the gym. I can't go to my parents. I can't call my friends. I can't be home. You're gonna take the car and leave me here. Hillary, just think of how boxed in you've made me.
What do you need me to pick up? I'll get it. I'll be back when I'm...
Why is he saying that she has boxed him in? She's just asking for a car to go somewhere. Bitch, why don't you get an Uber to visit your parents?
She's going to the grocery store.
And he's saying you're not doing wifely things? I thought shopping for groceries was wifely thing.
Barefoot and pregnant, I guess.
Such a fucking hypocrite. Like, he's telling her to take an Uber and leave the car. Why not you take the Uber and go to your parents or your gym and blah, 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 and let her use the car? Like, what's the fucking problem? Bitch. Oh my god. She's pregnant. No wonder she wants to take her own car, because she trusts herself as a driver and not a stranger who's driving an Uber.
I can't contact my friends. Think of how boxed in you've made me.
Why can't you contact your friends? Is it because you're a cheapo and you decided to take the mobile phone off your wife?
Hi. Hello. I have to wait for Monty to come back in. That was strange. I don't know what happened. Manya's frozen because she got disconnected. It's a good pause face, though. I'm gonna give her the link again, just in case. You can hear me. You might need to, like, close it off and come back in. Because it says you were disconnected. So... Yay. I believe. I don't know what happened. Da da da. Da da da. Oh, hi. Hey, there you are. Hey, welcome back.
For some reason, my computer is refusing to follow my command. Why? I snapped you at the... Okay, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. My computer's playing up for some reason.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, that was an internet hiccup on my end. So...
Oh, okay.
My
it was
whole...
not me for once. Hey!
Yeah, it wasn't you. My whole internet just...
It happens. It goes like...
So I'm just gonna put this back a little bit. Like, the wife is clearly emotionally distressed about not being allowed to take the car, which she has every right to go take the car.
Yeah. Bitch, why don't you take the Uber? Fuck my life.
Yo, online, like, what's the big deal? She's just going to the grocery store. She's gonna be back.
What does he mean by wifely things?
You're not gonna do the wifey
Do you want her
things.
to massage your feet?
There's so many, like, red flag words in here.
Yeah. What would the men thing? Like, what?
How do you respect men?
What?
And,
yeah,
and she gives him pushback. She gives him pushback and says, well, I'm a pregnant mom. I deserve respect too, essentially.
I hate it when men think that women being pregnant is the same as women not being pregnant. No, bitch. She has another human inside her, while you have constipation. So, no, it's not the same. And to treat it as the same, and to treat someone this abhorrently, and yeah. That poor woman,
whether she's like, pregnant or not, this is not a good way to treat somebody.
No, not at all. But I'm saying she's very pregnant, and you're still not... He's still the one who says about, I want to protect my children, blah, blah, blah. He's still not considerate about it, that she's pregnant, and maybe he should be kind to her in this stage of her, you know, life or year or something like that. Like, come on. Now we know why she didn't want to stay married. You're a horrible person.
I feel like a lot of us already knew Steven Crowder was a horrible person.
This is just validation, and we can say now sue me. Yeah, just alpha male behavior, guys.
Like, I can't go. Listen to me.
He just escalates, right?
Listen to me. I can't go to the gym. I can't go to my parents. I can't call my friends. I can't be home. You're gonna take the car and leave me here. Hillary, just think of how boxed in you've made me.
What do you need me to pick up? I'll get it. I'll be back when I'm back.
No, that doesn't work either. You'll be back when you're back. That doesn't work either.
See,
Do you understand the difference between my life being set to the second and you going, I'll be back when I'm back?
Yes, those are different things, but he chooses to make his life set that way. She doesn't have to conform her life to make it that way.
Yeah, like, and if she wants to
Yeah,
go
and why
out
can't
for
he
the
call
day,
his friends? Why he says he can't be home,
Tell them
but
to-
like he's at home
Maybe it's-
right now.
Is it because of COVID? Maybe, but if she can go out, then he can call his friends in. That's quite apparent.
If it's COVID, why are you sending your pregnant wife to the grocery store, you
pregnant
monkey?
wife? Yeah.
Are you stupid? If this was happening in like 2001, 2021, if this was happening during COVID and this is like the time frame that this was going on for, why and you're planning your life to the second and you don't plan your pregnant wife's needs and safety like within your schedule? That is your fault, you asshole.
Yep. And her wanting to go out is not unreasonable. There are times when your partner will say, listen, I want a break from this relationship for one day. Cannot go out with my boyfriends or girlfriends and hang out. You know? Just be, you know, a person who doesn't have to worry about relationships for one day. And it's reasonable to ask. It's reasonable to, it can be flexible. It doesn't have to be that specific day every time, but it can be flexible. That's what communication is about. And he's not communicating. He's just filibustering her and just you're badgering her, and she cannot even express what she wants. It's clear she walks on eggshells around him.
Yeah.
And
we can hear it in her voice, like how many times this has happened, and like,
and she's just over it. She's like, I'll be back when I'm back. This is someone who's resigned to the fact that he's going to be like this all the time. And this is so unfair.
Gage is giving us some context and says that Crowder wants her to put on gloves and give the dog medicine, but she can't because she's pregnant and is concerned about contact with chemicals. So that's what he means by put on the gloves. Bro, then why? Why
can't you do that?
Why doesn't he do it then? If that's the concern.
Yeah, that's what I really hate.
He went on to say she needs a few minutes away from home, and he thinks that's disloyal, I guess. Yeah, he would.
Yeah, someone insecure like him, yeah.
You had cleavage and you smiled.
Yeah. In that guy's direction, you fucking... Like, yeah, Intrigue is right. He's boxing her in and projecting. I really feel bad for her at this point. And she's still trying to communicate with him. She's still trying her best to stay calm while he's escalating. He's getting, you know, louder and louder and more...
Louder with Crowder.
More...
You don't say.
I wonder why.
On brand. At least he's on brand.
Yeah, in private also. Wow.
The only way out of it is discipline and respect. It's the only way out of it.
We are in a good pass.
Good. Because you can't have any discipline or respect.
Yeah.
Wow.
There you go. You throw your hand, you give up so easy.
I don't give up, Stephen.
She's not giving up, bitch. She just doesn't want to deal with your ass.
Oh,
she's not interested. She doesn't care enough.
The only way that this works is if we have discipline and respect. And when I say discipline and respect, I mean you just let me abuse you and do whatever I say.
Yeah.
Ew.
Yeah.
Those aren't what those words mean. Those are not what those words mean. Ew. Hate. Go. Yes.
I'm just letting genetic minority taking my screenshots and putting them in Discord. Sorry. I just got distracted. Yeah, so discipline and respect. So it's discipline and respect for her, but not for him. he shouldn't be disciplined and respecting her or her time or her needs. Nah. It's just all about
me, right? Oh, well, you're giving up. Well, you're doing this and you do this, and then I'm just this and you're the problem and you are this and you're doing this to me. How could you do this to me? And you don't respect me. That means you don't care about blah blah blah. This is textbook. This is textbook abuse.
Yeah, and
yeah, listen to this tone, the way he's talking to her.
Yeah, and I'll tell everyone, like, you should be worried the day your partner becomes indifferent to either your abuse or to your love. You should worry that day, and this is clearly what's going on here. She's become indifferent, and she just doesn't care. And I think so around this time, that's why this video came out, maybe because around this time she decided it was not worth it to be his wife anymore. After giving up her career, giving up her job, coming to work for him without a salary, and he treats her like this in private. Is it really worth it? To all the women out here, if this is your situation, it's not worth it. There's a reason why people don't like Andrew Tate, because he did exactly the same thing.
I saw the transformed wife talking about this situation, saying that women need to be submissive and this, that, and the other thing. And I'm like, there is abuse going on. There is adultery going on Stephen's end, which even by Christian standards can be considered reason for divorce. Abuse. Adultery specifically.
Yes.
So, no. And that excludes interpretation of, the covenant, right? So, like, in Christian theology, when you get married, you make a covenant between you, the two people, and God, right? But that means that you have made a commitment to God to maintain the standard. Stephen is not maintaining the standard. He's not meeting his end of the fucking bargain, which means the covenant has already been broken by the man. And so if he's not upholding his end of the bargain, and if you are at home and you don't want to get divorced because you've got a pastor, or you think that your religion says that you can't if you're a woman at home being abused, the covenant was already broken between that man and God already anyway. So you're not breaking anything by being divorced, because this was never what you agreed to in the first place. Do not let them bullshit you that you're breaking a covenant, or God says you can't do this or that or the other thing. This is 100%. You are being taken advantage of. You're getting abused, and God wouldn't want that for you in the first place.
And so if a pastor is telling you, oh, you should be submissive, blah blah blah, tell him bullshit.
What you say is, I would love to if the man would uphold his end of the bargain. I can't do that with an ungodly man who's broken his covenant with God. Fuck you!
This quote has been brought to you by Cheshire Vic in 2023.
I will throw an oddish at him.
Yeah.
You give up so easily. I just said the only way out of this is discipline and respect. And he said, then we're at an impasse.
Stephen, no, we are at an impasse, okay? I love you, but Stephen, your abuse is sick. Your abuse is sick.
Watch it.
Oh! She's pointing out his behavior, so he's like, you watch it.
The tone,
watch it, woman.
The tonal switch.
So sinister.
It's hard to see his body language
Trigger
down
warning,
here.
everyone.
Yeah, it's hard to see his body language up here, but he shifted.
Yeah. He's ready to just, go. Get up.
Yeah, watch it, or I'm gonna beat up my pregnant wife.
What I really love about her, that she's standing her ground. She's like, I'm gonna tell you how it is.
Yeah, she's leaning forward. She's like, no.
Yeah, she's like, bitch. When someone goes like this, you're like, yeah, they got you. So, dense motherfuckers.
Yeah.
And kudos to her. She called it out as it is. His abuse is sickening. Abuse is sickening, but she's telling him specifically that this is abuse and this is sickening. And hats off to her, seriously. And that's where education comes in. when you're educated, you can recognize these things and you know how to define them and point out to them. So yes, education is very important. Don't work for free for your husband, please. Don't. Unless unless he has named some property in your name or something like that, as a compensation. But don't work for free. Yeah.
Watch it, Mania.
You're telling a god to
there
watch
was
it?
no abuse on either side. Oh, sounds like Steven Crowder's a lying little bitch.
As soon as he said that there was no infidelity and there was no abuse, I was like, bitch, bullshit, bullshit.
No physical abuse.
We knew about the infidelity anyways. Like, it was like abuse bullshit.
You understand, like, when he says, like, this watch it thing, this implied physical threat means that at some point he has to have followed through.
He would have gotten physical with her. He would have gotten
No, I mean, like, in the past.
It's possible.
It's very likely to have gotten to this point that if he's saying that, it means that he's already done it.
Yeah, it's a repeated behavior. I'm quite sure because this looks like a regular thing.
He's definitely been like verbally and emotionally abusive before, but with the way he's saying that and her response thus far, it seems to me that he's probably already hit her or like shoved her around.
I'm sure he shoved her around because he doesn't have the balls to hit her. I think he's a coward. Yeah. He would get in her space and get to her face, and go in her personal space and be like, oh yeah, you want to talk about this, blah, blah, blah. But he's a coward. He wouldn't have
You would be surprised about what a coward will do behind closed doors when they think they can get away with it.
Fair.
Yeah, it's possible. All the blame is on. It's all. I have no one to blame but myself. I chose wrong.
I chose wrong. I trusted myself to be a good partner, to be a perfect partner, but I am actually an abusive piece of shit. Yeah, you chose wrong.
Watch it. Watch it. Fucking watch it.
I'm gonna let go. I'll get what you need me to get. And I need some space. We need to just stop engaging for a little bit, okay? I love you. I love you very much.
I don't love you. That's the big problem. I've never received love from you, and the fact is, when I go, look...
I don't love you, and I've never received... He switches it. He's like, I don't love you, that's the problem. Yeah, I've never received any love from you, as if it's that kind of an exchange. If you loved me more, I would love you back, and we wouldn't be in this scenario.
Yeah, and in that moment, that's what I'm saying. He is so like there's so much chaos in his brain that these moment of truths come out. That's what happened with Ben Shapiro, and that's what happened in his statement that he made about the divorce. And right here, I don't love you. It's not about love for him. It's about control.
Right.
And to gloss over that fact, he goes, oh, I don't love you because I never received love from you. Not that she never loved him. He feels like he never received love from her.
Oh, but
very specific.
He chose wrong in women. And like, this is all his fault. Like, if you didn't love her, I loved her so much that I married her. And my mistake was loving this woman. I don't love you.
Oh, that was a statement, eh? Oh, fuck. This is so much more disgusting when you listen to his statement now, and this is before that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you don't love her. It's all about control for you. You want to feel manly, you want to feel worshipped and blah 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 blah, and that's why you want her to do that to make you feel validated, and she refuses to do that because she thinks she's your equal.
It's okay. He's about to explain how she doesn't do every single thing he tells her to at a rate that he is satisfied with, because it wouldn't matter what rate it was. There's no winning when it comes to something like this. You can do exactly everything they've asked as they've acted. You could read their mind and do exactly what they want at the time, and they still wouldn't be happy about it.
And they will say, why did you read my mind? And that's
they'd say, why didn't you read my mind? Because they will change their expectations to match whatever it is that they want to try to control you over, or to dominate in whatever way they feel like they want to. So they could think, oh, I need this person to pick up groceries. You can't, or I need them to pick up eggs. You could read their, like, they didn't tell you that. You show up without eggs, they get mad at you. Or you read their mind, say, oh, we need eggs, they think we need eggs, bring back eggs, and they'd think of something else. So it wouldn't matter.
They're not the right kind of eggs. I wanted the size 7 jumbo eggs. You got me size 10.
Why did you buy this many? We only needed this many. Why did you buy? You bought too many eggs. They're gonna go bad or whatever. It doesn't. They'll come up with an excuse. Why didn't you get orange juice? And it could be something that you already have. It doesn't matter. There's no satisfying something.
I don't like that brand. Why did you bring that brand? And that's what the definition of walking on eggshells is in a relationship.
Yeah.
That you're always wondering what is the next wrong thing that they're going to point out, and they make you feel incompetent. They make you feel as if you're not good enough to make decisions, and they make you second guess yourself.
Watch. This is exactly what he's gonna do. He's gonna say you didn't do A, B, C, and D for me, or like at this rate. But the answer is that it wouldn't matter if she did. That's a misdirection. That's a red herring. It wouldn't matter.
Big problem. I've never received love from you, and the fact is, when I go, look, I need you to do A, B, C, and D, you just be disciplined about it, you go, no. But I love you more than life itself. Okay. Put on some gloves. No.
No. No doesn't mean you don't like the person. Saying no to their request doesn't mean you don't care about them. That's this is abusive bullshit. That's not how that works.
And it's also like, your partner is not going to be a copy of you. They are a different individual, so they will do things differently than you would expect yourself to do. And it's okay if they do things differently, or if they don't want to do things that you expect them to do. It's all right. She has valid concerns. That medicine can, if it gets, the reason she has to wear gloves is because probably if it gets absorbed in the skin, it's either corrosive or toxic, which is bad for the baby. Especially if it's toxic, because even if she wears gloves, she can get contact on her arms, on her belly, somewhere while she's doing it, because she's heavily pregnant. And imagine her trying to get down on the dog's level to try feed the dog the medicine or apply the medicine while she's pregnant. You dipshit. She can't even walk straight right now.
He's just sitting there on his whole ass.
Yeah, with his undies, just like he did on Ben Shapiro's show, showing his fucking junk everywhere. I'm quite sure. So yeah, it's like, instead of like trying to like be like, oh, okay, I understand, I'll do it. You go get the groceries. We switch chores. What's wrong with switching chores? If you were the ones who used to get groceries.
Real men.
Say, I'll look after the dogs.
Real men don't know how to take care of their animals while their wife is pregnant.
Oh, yeah.
Real men don't know how to operate a basic functioning appliance. A piece of real men don't know how to operate basic household machinery or any basic machinery. If you can't, if you can't run a washing machine or a dishwasher, you can't work in a factory and run a lathe.
Or operate a computer.
You are not. Yes, you are incompetent beyond repair.
You are incompetent. Yeah, if you can, or you cannot play video games. If you know how to work around an Xbox or a gaming console, you should know how to figure out how to work a washing machine or a dishwasher.
If you have a phone, you can run a dishwasher.
Yes, definitely. And when it's so funny that men should say, "Oh, I can't do these like home chores like dishwashing."
Men need to be in charge of the country, but I don't know how to run a laundry machine.
Simple, yeah, it's a simple washing machine. God. So yeah, and she's still saying him, "I love you." She's saying, "I love you."
She's trying to reassure him. She's like, "Listen, I need some space. This isn't about that." And he's like, "Oh, but you didn't meet every single one of my demands. Therefore, you don't. You told me no one time, and therefore you don't love me." Like, what kind of toxic ass fucking nonsense?
And discipline is not. Let me tell people around. Discipline is not about, oh, you do the same thing every day at the same time, the same way. No. It's about making the right decisions when needed.
Well, and sometimes like sometimes your busy. Like she's in the bathroom. She's in the bathroom taking like a shit while she's pregnant, and he's like, "Do the thing," and she's like, "No."
Yeah, she's got a baby. Like,
did you know that love and being
against her bladder?
Love and being married means that you have to just drop everything you're doing and do everything that this other person tells you to do every single time at the drop of the hat, always, forever. Doesn't matter what you're doing. Disgusting.
Yeah.
Rose said, "What man asks his pregnant wife to give the dog medicine is a duck request. She has every right to say no." And Generic Minority said, "Real men can't function unless women do things for them." Yep.
But they can run a country. Apparently.
Sure they can.
Oh yeah, or a company. And definitely not make their relatives work for free or their friends. Yeah.
Yeah. That's not fair and it's disingenuous. No, it's not. You're making a false equivalence fallacy. Good job. You're welcome. Yeah. If you want to talk about, if you want to talk about being logical and having good argumentation,
let's go there then.
Let me take advantage of the emotion. Let me take advantage of the emotional state of my pregnant wife while I abuse her, so I can seem like I'm the big emotion. I'm the big logic boy.
And by the looks of it, she has a mask on her neck, if I'm not wrong. Is that a mask? Or it's something, right?
No, that's
around
just an
her
S.
Chin.
No, that's just the S on the stack. That's
okay.
Watermark.
Sorry, my bad.
The watermark.
That's not fair. That's not fair, and it's disingenuous.
He's going up.
Hillary, you're right. Right in past. Become someone that's you day in and day out, worthy of a wife. No, not.
Oh, sorry, it went off screen. I'll go back a little bit. Sorry.
Yeah, I was like, huh?
It's like, it's a disingenuous. You don't love me unless you become a person that's not you.
Yeah. I thought you married people for who they are.
That's not fair. That's not fair, and it's disingenuous. Hillary, you're right. Right in past. Become someone that's you day in and day out, worthy of a wife. No, not.
Excuse me, Daddy Steven Crowder, can I go to the bathroom? Excuse me, Daddy Steven Crowder, can I go grocery shopping? Excuse me, Daddy Steven Crowder, can I answer the phone? Excuse me, Daddy Steven Crowder, can I go downstairs? Excuse me, Daddy Steven Crowder, can I take a right step and then a left step and then a right step and a left step so I can get to the bathroom? Excuse me, Daddy Steven Crowder, can I brush my teeth? Excuse me, Daddy Steven Crowder.
Do I have to do bench presses?
Excuse me, Daddy Steven Crowder. Can I do my pregnant wife's squats now?
Look at her. She's actually now holding a belly, which tells me that she's looking for comfort now. And the only thing that's giving her comfort is a child. And that's so sad.
Defensive.
Yeah, she's looking for solace. She's looking for comfort. And the only thing is that child. And that's what she's doing. She's holding onto her belly, which is so sad.
Yeah, textbook abuse. Sad. You need to be the person I want you to be or you're failing me. And you're invalid if you don't. Your feelings are invalid if you don't. Because that means you don't love me if you don't do this. And if you don't love me, you are therefore a bad wife and a bad person. Especially when you add in the religious connotations of what it means to be a good wife via Christian standards. Which is relevant in this case. That's why I'm talking about Christian standards, not Muslim standards or Hindu standards. I'm talking, because that's their ideology. Yikes.
As a wife. I didn't say as a wife. Hillary, come on now.
I'm not going to engage. I'm not going to engage anymore. I'm going to go. I'll text me what you need. I'll get you what you need.
And that's a good change. She's now telling him that all she's asking is like, I'm going to go out. I'm going to the grocery store. Let me know if what do you need? And he's abusing her, and she's like, okay, you know what? I'm leaving. I'm not engaging with this anymore. You can text me what you need. Goodbye. And that is a good call on her part.
Get yourself out of that situation.
I'm sad that this is another minute long, or give or take, because that would have been a great way to just be able to walk out. But it's never that simple.
I love you. I'm committed to you.
I am literally pregnant with your baby.
Oh wow.
Oh, his fucking eyes. Look at his eyebrows. You gonna do the thing I tell you to do?
Bitch, come at me, bitch. Bitch, come at me. Fucking asshole.
And look at her, she's her hands out. Are you? Put on some gloves. Are you committed enough to do those things? Why do you feel the need to micromanage your wife so much, you insecure little baby bitch?
This reminds me of my stand-in plant manager who was trying to micromanage me how I do my drug and alcohol tests.
Ew.
While they take liberties with the policies, telling me to follow the policies to the T. I'm like, bitch, this is so similar.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, she's pregnant with twins here. She's not even pregnant with a singular baby. She's got 2 cooking.
Oh god, this is even... Oh, come on, dude. Well, pregnant is pregnant, but yeah, considering she's... when you have twins, you're at more risk of health problems. Because there are 2 humans now inside of you instead of 1, when your body is made for 1, I think. So, yeah, and you're still not being considerate. Why is he having a fucking tantrum about giving medicine to the dog? What the fuck?
Because he's abusive. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what the topic is. It's whatever is convenient and whatever's gonna work. It literally doesn't matter. He could put on the gloves and just do it. He could go out and do the grocery shopping and get out of the house for a little while and give her some space, if that's what she's asking for. But that would be the reasonable and considerate thing to do, not the abusive thing to do, which is to kick her out of her own house.
Yeah, and also, if you really feel boxed in, go out for a walk, man.
Yeah, if he's feeling boxed in, he can leave. Go for a wander.
Yeah, like
take a walk.
Yeah, go for a wander. Go to a local park, you know, like, and if you're so afraid of putting medicine on the dog, call your parents and ask them to do it for you. If you're such a big man child, I'm sure they will oblige you, or maybe not because you're an asshole.
It's not like they don't have money. Pay somebody.
Yeah, just do it for me. Can we have? I'm just wondering what Steven Crowder has said about this clip, though.
Nothing
Has he
yet.
responded?
No, this clip's pretty new.
He did put out a statement 2 minutes ago, though.
2 minutes ago? Oh, well, I mean, come on. We've been streaming for over an hour and a half. I cannot be, like, expected that. I'm not a time traveler, unlike apparently everybody else.
I am.
Yeah.
I was expecting. Because I got his number, and it's in your Discord inbox. Here we go.
Alright, well, we'll finish watching this, and yeah, good point. This woman is so pro at handling him that this is a regular occurrence for her. Glad she's left
that's what education does for you.
Yeah.
That's what education does for you.
The easiest way to learn how to deal with an abusive person is to get into an abusive relationship.
Or maybe read books about it and get educated, you know.
No, she's just no. This lady's been through this on more than one occasion. You can tell by the way she's handling it.
She was at a very good position in a company before, right? What was her position? What was she working as?
She was wasn't she a vice president at a furniture store?
Yeah.
Yep.
You gotta have some cool skills, especially people skills, to be a vice president.
Ericles also makes a really good point. The car thing is totally about control as well. He doesn't want her to go anywhere. Oh, yeah. He's controlling the money. He's controlling the house. Yeah.
The car, the phone, everything. The groceries, medicine for the dog. My fucking...
Maybe the dog medicine is for Crowder, and that's why he can't do it.
Are you committed enough to do those things?
I'm not trying to...
Are you committed enough to do those things? You're not committed to anything. You're not committed to anything. You just said I love you. You're committed to it. Walk the dogs, put on some gloves. Walk the dogs, put on some gloves. Are you committed?
He wants her to walk the dogs as well. This isn't just about giving them medicine. This is walk the dogs out front and put on gloves. So you want your pregnant wife to go take the dogs for a walk. Bro, get off your slimy ass and take the dogs for a walk. And he's like, oh, I can't, my schedule is too busy. That's your fault. Your poor scheduling does not constitute an issue on her part. Asshole. Ya nasty. Money, did you mute yourself?
No, I'm not talking.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm just I'm typing a tweet.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Are you committed?
Oh, there she goes. She's taking the dog. Oh, look, she's gonna have to bend over and do it.
Are you committed enough to get the medication the dog's? No, you take Betty.
As the Crowders head inside, Steven gets angrier and angrier, and by his own admission screams, "I will fuck you up," at his pregnant wife, Hillary, who then flees their home. Dog's following. And that's the end of the clip.
It's such a beautiful dog, a white dog. She deserves that dog. Take the dog with you. I really hope she got the dog in the divorce. He doesn't deserve dogs. Fucking asshole.
Well, he can't walk them, and he can't fucking give them their medication, so yeah, no, he doesn't. Conservative media host and commenter Steven Crowder can be seen on a Ring camera video berating his wife Hillary, who was at the time nearly 8 months pregnant, and demanding that she handle medicine for the dogs that she was concerned was toxic for pregnant women. In the video, he snaps at her to put on her gloves to give the dog medicine, walk the dogs, and otherwise perform wifely duties, as she is clearly emotionally distressed. Towards the end of the exchange, Hillary Crowder says to her husband, "Your abuse is sick," and he snaps at her saying, "Watch it, fucking watch it." Moments later, off camera, Steven Crowder, by his admission, would lose control and scream at his pregnant wife in a threatening tone, "I will fuck you up," which led to his wife to flee from their home. In a statement sent to me by Hillary Crowder's family, they said that she spent years hiding her husband's mental and emotional abuse from her family, that he lied about their circumstances, the circumstances around their divorce, and that he wasn't present for the birth of their children. Documentary evidence I reviewed while reporting this story backs up their assertions. This statement, in its entirety, is printed later on in the story. The Ring camera footage documenting the moments leading up to that moment is where Steven said, "I will fuck you up." Something that was at the pinnacle of aggressiveness in their marriage, but was also part of a pattern of emotional abuse. It's posted in full at the top of this post and detailed later on. Neither Hillary nor Steven Crowder is contending that there was physical abuse in their relationship, in their marriage, or sexual infidelity. In audio files and text messages I reviewed, Steven Crowder admits to some of his faults, which includes a volcanic temper, repeatedly, and at times regretfully.
Oh yeah, he's always regretful after that. Yeah,
it makes me look bad. Yeah, 8 months with twins. But according to sources I spoke with who are familiar with their relationship, Steven Crowder's admission often came off as after a sustained period of mental and emotional abuse, and he didn't seem to be able to control his impulses. That's the physical part.
Control his impulses. It's not his fault, it's his impulses that he cannot control. Yeah, he was born like that, of course. And his parents didn't smack him, give him a smack when he was a kid and he badmouthed someone or attack someone. Yeah, fine.
This story is based on conversations with multiple sources, none of whom would speak to me unless they were granted anonymity. I also reviewed text messages. I wonder why. Is everybody afraid of Crowder?
Yeah, or that he will come after them with a suit.
I also reviewed text messages, extensive audio files, and personal video documenting the Crowders' marriage. Hillary was not available for comment or a conversation with me on more confidential terms. 2 messages sent to Steven Crowder via his website requesting comment have yet to be replied to by the time the story is published. If he does reply or comment publicly about the details posted here, the story will be updated accordingly. The Crowders were married in 2012 after dating for 2 years and being engaged for less than a year. Hillary Crowder filed for divorce in December of 2021 after she learned that her husband had hired a divorce attorney a month earlier. Oh, women are the ones that initiate divorce 80% of the time. Oh, this isn't what I wanted. He already had hired a divorce lawyer.
So he already hired a divorce attorney.
Yeah.
I'm going to read him again. Hold on, listen to me.
Yeah.
He knew she doesn't have a job. She is dependent on him, income-wise, and everything else. She was pregnant, if I'm not wrong, or just given birth. So he hired the divorce lawyer or divorce attorney to intimidate her. That, I'm going to divorce you, then who's going to look after you, kind of thing. That's why he hired the attorney. And his wife was like, "Bitch, you don't know what's coming. before you do anything, I'm gonna file for divorce, and let's see who's the bitch now. So I guarantee you, he hired the attorney to intimidate her. I'm telling you, that's what he did. And
I didn't break up with her; she broke up with me.
Yeah. Oh, there's I'll give you a meme.
Yeah. So the kids were born in August of 2021.
So yeah, so he was. I bet you he was trying to intimidate her. That you're pregnant, you're about to give birth, you're financially dependent upon me. What if I divorce you? What will then happen?
Despite her best efforts, her husband was absent when their twins were born. Instead, he met their newborn twins later that day at the hospital. The night before, the night before she gave birth,
he cares about his children, though.
Well, yeah, everything is about protecting his kids. The night before she gave birth, Stephen and Hillary exchanged a series of text messages about separating. Hillary sent her husband one of the final text messages, quote, "Stephen, I'm afraid of you and your rage. You are scary. You scare me. I want to heal things, but you have to take responsibility. Stop blaming others. Stop feeling pain and sadness only for yourself."
That is so insightful. So insightful. And she is telling him exactly how she feels, which is
brave.
I think so. The first attempt should be that you tell your partner how you feel around them. But I think so she has been telling him forever.
Yeah, if it's escalated to they're afraid of you, then it's not this. You were way past the first step.
Yeah, you really need to start looking into yourself if your partner says they're afraid of you. Not like Amber Heard, though.
Bapt for 5 said, "This dude wants reality to be his fantasy and her to be his fantasy. That's what he loves, not her. This always fails. Also, get Puck some treats. I will do that."
Okay. He needs boobs also, doesn't he?
I will make sure that he gets more boobs.
Like, just grab his, snout and just...
No! Consensual boops only. Only consensual boops.
I'm sure if you show him a cracker, he will consent.
Yeah, but then I won't grab his nose and boop him. Consensual boops only. I'll just hold my finger out, and if he goes forward, it's boop, 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 boop.
I think so you can train him, actually, to do that.
He's not into it. I don't like to... I don't like to train him in things that he's clearly not into. I tried to get him to learn how to smile. He won't do it. He ain't about that.
You should smile more, Puck.
Yeah, you should smile more.
Nani?
In the past 2 weeks, rumors of their divorce, which the press had not discovered for over a year, began to spread on Twitter. On Tuesday, Steven Crowder briefly spoke about the news on his popular show, Louder with Crowder. Crowder said in part, quote, "I have been living with a proverbial boot on my neck," lies, for going on years now. Since 2021, I have been living through what has been increasingly become a horrendous divorce by because you made it that way. And no, this has not been my choice, said the guy who already had a divorce lawyer. Then my wife decided she didn't want to be married anymore. Nope. And in the state of Texas, that is completely permitted. Good. She simply wanted out. A little more complicated than that. That's definitely not what that text message says. And the law says that's how it works. It's no one's fault. Yes, it is, but your own that I picked wrong. But my own that I picked wrong. You're a big fat fucking liar, and that certainly isn't the fault of my children. I hope these twins grow up not knowing their dad, and they get a better, quote-unquote, father or masculine figure, or they just have better and more responsible and better people in their lives to look up to. Crowder bemoaned Texas's no fault, blah, 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 blah. We can skip this part. In a statement sent to me, Crowder dismissed that, what Crowder didn't mention is that his very private wife, who hardly appears at public events and is rarely photographed, all true, had made a request via her attorneys that her husband not discuss their divorce at all. Steven Crowder dismissed that request and spoke about the divorce and their marriage for about 5 minutes in a clip that went viral. In a statement sent to me via email, Hillary Crowder's family said, quote, Hillary is currently living alone in Dallas apart from her family and support system in Michigan and is focused on taking care of her young children. She is not prepared at this time to speak about her divorce becoming public or the misleading statements made by Steven about the relationship. By misleading, they mean fucking lies. The truth is that Hillary spent years hiding Steven's mentally and emotionally abusive behavior from her friends and family while she attempted to save their marriage. She was the one who was asking to work on their relationship to keep the marriage intact for their unborn children. In June of 2021, Steven left their home to pursue elective surgery. Steven got elective surgery? What type of elective surgery did he get?
Did he get a hysterectomy or something like that?
Did he get a job?
Possible. Or did he get fake biceps or something like that?
Hillary urged him to
because his biceps look fake. Fake as.
Hillary urged him to get the help he needed to address his abuse with the hope that their marriage could be saved and they could peacefully live together as a family. Instead, Steven refused to do so and chose to not be with his wife during the birth of their twin children. After the birth, Steven bought a townhouse and left their home permanently. Hillary was unaware that Steven had hired a divorce attorney and asked his assistant to cut Hillary off financially. There is significant documentation substantiating these facts.
I was right. I was right. I was fucking right. It's so easy to read this guy. Oh my fucking... Okay. I was right.
But he didn't want it. He didn't want any of the consequences to his actions that he was taking to abuse somebody.
He was like, I'm gonna hire a liar and try to intimidate you, blah, blah, blah. And she was like, bitch, I'll call your bluff. Let's go.
No, she didn't do any of that. She was the whole time like, let's work this out. You need to do this. We need to do this. We want to...
But she did file for divorce But she did file for divorce, didn't she? So she called his bluff. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Yeah. But she was still trying to work it out. Like her preference was to rather work it out than go for the divorce. But he was like,
he had his chest made more masculine. That's not even a joke. Is that what it was? I don't know what his elective surgery was. So he got a boob job, is what you're telling me.
No, I'm telling you, I think he's got bicep job. He got fake biceps.
Got fake biceps put in?
You can't
We hope that Steven will cease publicly speaking about these personal matters in an untruthful manner. We also look forward to... Fucking liar. We also look forward to there being full transparency in the legal process, so there is fairness and accountability for the actions that caused the divorce, and to ensure the outcome is what is best for the interests of young children. Do we have a new lawsuit to follow?
Oh, wow.
In the Ring camera video, which was captured on June 26, 2021, the twins were born in August. This was June, so this was during the height of COVID shit, too.
So 6 or 7 months pregnant.
She was almost 8 months.
Yeah, almost 8 months pregnant, bitch. And he made her wife go through when she was 8 months pregnant, around which time the pregnancy can be very precarious. You have variation in your blood pressure. It can be dangerous for you. And this motherfucker was berating her at that time.
Steven Crowder is angry as he sits on the patio smoking, and Hillary Crowder is in a state of motion as she prepares to leave the house. Steven Crowder insists that Hillary not take their one car to run errands as it would keep him housebound, and that she, at nearly 8 months pregnant, should take an Uber. No!
She COVID, pregnant, stranger danger?
Yeah. An Uber?
Hygiene?
In COVID? Yeah.
Yeah, hygiene. The car, you don't know if it's sanitized or not.
He could take the Uber? Nothing's preventing him from taking the Uber?
Yeah, he is at less risk than his wife for COVID and the consequences of COVID. If he vaccinated, which I doubt he did. And I think so, if I'm not wrong, during pregnancies, you can't get vaccinated.
It's also not very healthy to smoke around a pregnant person.
Yeah.
If he
like,
cares so much about his kids.
Come on! What can you expect from a guy who wasn't there when his children were coming into this world? What can you expect from such a guy? That he couldn't be committed enough to not be there for his children.
Yeah, who's got the commitment issues here?
Uh-huh.
Who's got the not behaving like a proper spouse issues here?
Oh, you can get a vaccine while pregnant? Okay, cool. I was wrong then. Okay. I was just speculating whether you can.
I know that you can now. I do know that there were priority vaccinations around children and pregnant women for a while. I don't know if there was a delay for pregnant people with the initial vaccine rollout, because again, we are talking about June 2021. So just a little extra context. Yeah.
But I think when the vaccine did roll out, and if pregnant people can get vaccinated, pregnant people would have got the priority over people like Steven, who are like regular blokes.
He also berates her for not doing wifely duties like grocery shopping in a way that pleases him. Tensions raise as Steven Crowder gets more agitated. Feeling some constraint, Crowder says to his wife. Crowder gets irritated and says that if Hillary, his very pregnant wife, takes the car, he can't go to the gym to see his parents or see his friends. Oh no! Quote, the only way out is discipline and respect, Crowder says to his wife. Hillary Crowder, in an attempt to leave, tells her husband that she loves him and that she's committed to the marriage. Steven Crowder gets angrier and suggests that if she is committed to the marriage, she should put on gloves to give the dog medicine that his wife was concerned for was toxic for pregnant women and walk their dogs at 8 months pregnant with twins. If I am 8 months pregnant with twins, I am not walking Puck. That is not happening. Nope. Somebody else can walk Puck.
Or you can go out and
I will find someone.
Yeah, of course.
And as they headed inside, Crowder got angrier and angrier and was, by his admission via audio I reviewed, yelling angrily and said, "I will fuck you up." According to both Crowders, Steven immediately pulled back and realized what he had said, but by that point Hillary was frightened and left the house. Oh, she was definitely frightened before that. In the review of audio, video, and text messages, Steven Crowder repeatedly admits that he has a volcanic temper and has been working through therapy to control it. That doesn't seem to be the case. I press X to doubt on that one. What do you guys think?
Sorry, what?
Steven Crowder repeatedly in review of audio, video, and text message, Steven Crowder repeatedly admits that he has a volcanic temper that he has been working through therapy to control. I don't believe...
no, he is not.
I don't believe that.
You know which therapy...
X.
You know which therapy he's been going through? He is going to a pastor with his wife, and he's been like, you are the one who's causing me all this. That's what's been happening. I bet on it. And I'm always right. With this guy, I cannot be wrong.
You read Steven Crowder like a fucking children's book.
Yes.
However, at one point in the audio files I reviewed, Steven Crowder gets upset, ironically, because he is frustrated that he's not getting enough credit for having not lost his temper for months, but adds that he can't promise he won't lose it again in the future.
What? So he wants to get credit. This is what I'd say.
Guys, he's not getting enough cookies. Give him more cookies.
Some people want to be praised for every little thing that a regular human is expected
they constantly berate other people for doing normal things. This is not the attitude of somebody who's actually trying to fix a problem, who's acknowledged that they have a problem.
That's what I'm telling you. He's been going to a pastor with his wife. Because he said, if you remember in the Ben Shapiro's interview, he said, we have been trying to work on the relationship.
Oh, that's right. Yep. They've had problems for years.
Yes.
Two people who, I wonder if I wonder at some point if she gets interviewed or people ask her if we're going to find out that Steven changed after the marriage.
Yeah, it is possible because that's what abusers do, right? They make it fantastical and romantic, and they love bomb the people around them before they get into a situation where that person is now locked with you forever.
He's a fucking brat is what he is. Two people who worked for Steven in the past say that he has created a cult-like atmosphere in the workplace and is intolerant of dissent. Oh, mister, we need to hear all sides and we gotta hear everybody out, doesn't allow dissent. Who in the chat, somebody called he's gonna go full Alex Jones. Who called that? That's what this is.
Mm-hmm.
You're either fully for him or you're his enemy, one former employee told me in a conversation on Wednesday. In an interview on Michael Malice's podcast, Dave Landau, who used to be a co-host on Louder with Crowder, said that Crowder had surrounded himself with yes men. That, people with big egos and fragile large egos tend to be like that. Landau added about Crowder, quote, he's become the bully and he doesn't realize it. Crowder's career in mainstream conservative media started at Fox News in 2009, where he appeared as a guest on programs and wrote for Fox News' website until he was let go from the network on October of 2013. His show, Louder with Crowder, aired on CRTV and later The Blaze from 2017 through to the end of his contract in 2022. Which would be why he'd start getting offered contracts with people like the Daily Wire, because his contract was over. Crowder's media footprint is substantial. On YouTube, his 2 channels, blah, 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 blah. In March of 2023, Rumble announced that at least 58,000 people had subscribed to Crowder's channel, paying $89 a year each, and that would mean over $1.5 million for this particular revenue stream. And the numbers that Rumble share were in the pre-launch phase. The numbers have likely grown since. Basically, Steven Crowder isn't poor by any means. It's this success and the ideological alliance that led the Daily Wire and the conservative media company co-founded by Ben Shapiro and Jeremy Boring. That's an unfortunate last name. To make an offer to Crowder in October of 2022. To bring his show to their company, blah, 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 blah. So this is just what we've covered already, and his blow-up about Candace Owens. Now, how much of what we witnessed in the, in that clip versus what we witnessed in this clip line up? Did Steven Crowder tell the truth in any capacity in the initial clip of him talking about the issue?
Nope. Do you want to make a poll?
No. We all know the answer.
Yeah.
We all know.
Yeah.
And now we have this. Steven Crowder making a statement. And as of today, I have filed a motion to officially unseal all files as they relate to the matter for legal record finances, relevant medical records, including mental health history or evaluations, depositions, and any motions or sanctions from the torts of Texas. I will not be leaking private material information to the press, but if the private agreements are not respected by all parties, I will address all that is a matter of irrefutable legal record in context next week. So, a threat.
That's a threat.
That's a threat.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, his
Chesh.
wife that has two 3-year-old twins, who respectfully asked him to not make this a big public blowout, is making this a big public blowout because Candace Owens said that he's going through some shit and you should pray for him.
He just imploded.
Just to put this
happened.
in the... He could definitely... that's a really good point, actually. I committed to my ongoing divorce on Tuesday... I commented on my ongoing divorce on Tuesday, requesting privacy in the best interest of family, but also by court order agreed on by all parties. Broken marriages... You agreed. You're one of the parties. You broke the agreement.
You broke it first.
No, she didn't break it at all.
Yeah. When did that article came out with the video? If it's after his initial
April
statement,
27th. It has to be. The initial statement is in the article. This is April 27th.
So it's after. So, bitch, you are the one who broke it. So I don't know what you're alluding to.
Yeah, April 27th is yesterday. His statement came out on Tuesday. And Candace Owens wouldn't be one of the people that would be part of the fucking divorce agreement, you dipshit. Broken marriages are ugly. In them, people do ugly things. No, you're just an abuser. Your wife didn't do anything. You're just a piece of shit. Myself, of course, included. Yourself only. Just you. You're the hi, hello, you're the problem. I would never claim otherwise. Fuck off. However, due to recent misleading edited leaks to the tabloid press, without context and not subjective to consequences of the court, well, if not privacy, the next best option is truth. Yeah, okay.
I commented on my ongoing
but sorry, Rose made a good point, and I just want to point it out real quick. He definitely makes enough money to afford a second car, if that was the big fucking deal. About him needing to get out. No, they had one car, so that way he had one car on purpose so he could control the situation and dictate the usages of that car, specifically because he could be like, well, it's my car, it's in my name, because I made you quit your job and work for me, so I can control all of our finances. She is 100% going to be able to go after him for back money, especially if there's text messages of him saying to cut her off. What an asshole. Fuck this guy. Fuck this guy. Uber fuck this guy. What a piece of shit.
I commented on my ongoing divorce on Tuesday, requesting privacy in the best interest of the family, but also by court order agreed upon by all parties. Look, broken marriages are ugly, and in them people do ugly things. Myself, of course included, I would never claim otherwise. However, due to
you're just ugly. You're just ugly.
Inside and out.
Recent misleadingly edited leaks to the tabloid press without context and not subject to consequences of the court, well, if not privacy, the next best option is truth. So today, I have filed a motion to officially unseal all files as they relate to the matter of legal record, finances, relevant medical.
There is no context that video clip looks good for you. There is no change in context. No, it's not cut.
There's no cut there.
Yep, there is no cut there. There is nothing in that video that context would make. No context would make. You could be doing that to literal Hitler. It doesn't make it better.
Records, including
if I may add to that before we go.
Yeah.
The reason why he filed that motion is to save his ass.
Oh yeah,
because he's the one who first put it out, so he wants to save his ass.
Yep.
Oh, I wanted it to get unsealed anyway, so yeah.
Yep.
Unseal all files as they relate to the matter of legal
record, more
finances, relevant medical records, including mental health history or evaluations, depositions, and any motions or sanctions from the courts of Texas. I will not be leaking private marital information to the press, but if the privacy agreement.
You already did that on Tuesday, you dumb motherfucker.
He's just saving his own ass, and he's trying to do that move like, oh, okay, I'm not afraid of the whole truth to come out. He's posturing, hoping
he's
that
peacocking.
Nobody will go and do those files that he's asking to be unsealed, and we don't know if they will get unsealed or not.
I agree with Feline. It's unlikely that they will get unsealed unless his wife agrees to it, and there's no reason for his wife to agree to it.
Yeah, and also like I think so. What happened in Amber Heard's and Johnny Depp's case, it was the judge's call to unseal the documents. I don't think so. It depended on the parties. I guess it's from state to state then how it goes. I guess. They can be unsealed if the judge wants to, but there should be a good reason for it. And I think so why Judge Penny unsealed the documents in Amber Heard and Johnny, because it was a very publicized case. I think so that's the reason why they unsealed all the documents.
And it was more than just, and it was a defamation case, not a divorce.
Yeah. So 2 very different cases with different outcomes and what do you say, intent, if I might say. So yeah.
all files as they relate to the matter of legal record, finances, relevant medical records, including mental health history or evaluations, depositions, and any motions or sanctions from the courts of Texas. I will not be leaking private marital information to the press, but if the privacy agreements are not respected by all parties, I will address all that is a matter of irrefutable legal record in full context next week.
So he is saying that whether or not the court grants it, he's gonna put it out.
Yeah. So,
good luck.
And Mr. Sears is right. Yeah. He is asking for another lawsuit, or he is asking for another set of sanctions to come his way, and they can get very expensive, if I'm not wrong. Also, Mr. Sears is right. I think he's trying to embarrass her. Yeah, it's public humiliation. He's threatening her with public humiliation. He probably made her see therapists and made her go through a bunch of shit. Oh yes. Quite right, Mr. Sears. And he's trying to make her look bad to make himself look good in comparison. Yes, if he's talking about mental health records, I fully believe you that he made her go through a lot of therapists to say, oh, you need to work on shit. If I need to work on shit, then you also need to work on shit.
Look at this goofy ass motherfucker's face. Fuck you.
So smug. Honey, do that. If the documents get unsealed, it will be so fascinating to cover all of them. I'm quite sure. Yeah. Okay, so Intrigue Feline from the live chat said, in their case, most of the documents were slated to be unsealed as they were sealed due to the publicity of it. Okay, so it was the other way around, and wanted to prevent possible witness tampering. So yeah, in a divorce case, there's no witness tampering, so I guess they can unseal the documents if asked, but I really hope that both parties
they would leave them sealed because there's no risk of it. Right? If they're unsealed, then there's no fuckity bullshit like what Steven Crowder's trying to do. He's trying to fuck with the situation by being like, I'm gonna put information out, or else.
Yeah, he's like, oh, I'm going to publicly humiliate you by putting out everything, and I am an honest guy, so I'm not afraid of the truth.
I'm the good guy.
Yeah. While he's trembling and shitting his pants under his desk.
And he said next week. So I guess we will all wait with bated breath to hear what this fucking abusive piece of shit has to say, because we should care.
Another dumb Fekk Friday for this guy, fucking asshole.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yep. Well, you got anything going on, Manya?
Not much. I've re-rolled for the next semester. So
this is Darvo, by the way. This is what we're looking at.
Oh, this is Darvo.
This is Darvo.
This is.
Yeah, I got.
Yeah,
sorry, go ahead.
You got a lot of shit coming.
Yeah, I got video
coming
out.
And check out Chesh's videos, like especially the latest one around Vic Mignogna. It's like got so many comments and so much shit going on it. It's like it's like fire. Entertaining chaos, and I'm quite sure everyone will enjoy it. 142 comments so far, counting more. Yeah, there should be more by now. So yeah. My new Twitter handle. That's a good reminder. Thank you, Intrigue. So my original Twitter handle, MENG Manya, for some reason started getting banned or censored, I may dare say. I had Twitter Blue on it, and it still started getting censored, and a lot of people came to me and said, we can't see your tweets. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I started tweeting about Andrew Tate, but I think so some people had noticed it even before that. So I don't know if it's Twitter Blue that messed it up. I don't know what happened with it. I've canceled my Twitter Blue subscription because of that, because it's not worth it then. If my tweets are not going out to people who follow me or who check me out, what's the point? So I switched to this new account, which is Manya Z, MAANYAAZ. So far, that account.
Oh, it's this fucking shit! I didn't realize who I was responding to. It's this fucking guy. Oh! I should have looked first. What have I done? Wait! It's not too late. I can delete it, right? I can take it back. This fucking.
No, you can't.
Moron.
Did you press reply?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I wanted to see what he was
delete it if you want to.
I was like, oh, we should look to see what this fucking dipshit has to say about his about Steven Crowder's fucking shit on his thing that he said he was gonna talk about. So I was like, oh, I'll go take a look, and this fucking
This
guy.
This is the asshole.
Oh
god. You. Yeah.
90% of child. Oh, fuck this guy. Fuck. Delete the tweet. Yeah, get rid of it. Get rid of it quick. Pretend it didn't happen. Nobody saw anything. Nobody saw it. Didn't happen. This is fake news. Yeah. You guys definitely didn't see me do that on this. I do not want to talk to this person. Okay, I deleted it. It's gone. I got rid of it. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. Yamate! Frieza Dona Yamate! Alright, I'm gonna go live on Twitch a little bit later today. I'm gonna do some more art. We're apparently writing, nice. We're crowdsourcing a comic strip, basically. So,
ooh, nice.
Like a little bit of a webcomic. So I'm gonna be there working on characters, so, come and join. Link is in the description. Thank you for joining me. Please feel free to, like and subscribe, become a member, go follow on Twitch, whatever is most convenient for you. Patreon's also an option and available. Please come and join us in the Discord. There's also going to be a video probably coming out tomorrow as well. I think it'll be about Elon Musk, if I'm not mistaken. And if you want to catch A Bug's Life, I'm going to be releasing what we did on Twitch with A Bug's Life later, as well as I will be live again on Sunday. And if you're looking for playbacks of that time of the month, which you should definitely go and check out, you can either watch it here or it will be live again on Twitch, probably tomorrow. I'm going to get out of here. Tons of nonsense going on. You didn't see anything. You saw nothing. Nothing happened. Do not like, do not share, do not subscribe. Goodbye.
Bye.
Hello.
Welcome back to Don't Fekk Friday.
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 It's going to be fun.